Hey everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of...
Yeah, welcome everybody to Jazz Time with It Be Like That podcast.
Jazz time?
The way you were like...
Hey everybody, oh yeah.
The way you came in...
Hey everybody, have you seen my balls are big and salty and brown?
The way you came in all like, smooth and oh, there goes our camera.
There goes the camera. I just got moved way off camera. The other way. This is called live fixing. You might have to actually get up and
Damn dogs.
move it over. Yeah, Zach and his...
that was Ace.
That was Ace. It looked like Zach down there. Backed up into it. That's Zach.
No, Zach was here. Ace turned his big butt and
Ace
the
turned
bed.
his big butt? I thought Zach backed in. Whichever. Is Ace actually on the bed?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, look. Some dog's actually using the new dog bed. That's over there. But, hey.
Anyways, the way you were coming in all smooth and... I know it's because you were feeling a little under the weather, which I'm sure you'll talk about. But, like, the way you came in, it seemed kind of all smooth and jazz
Be
time.
like that after dark. Hitting that Kenny G awfully hard today.
I was going for the saxophone, but yeah, if we go Kenny G, we got to be more out this way because,
You got to be more out this way, the clarinet.
Yeah.
He's not going to flute it up over on this way.
Well, that was more of a horn, but whatever.
That was more like this.
Yeah.
And you need to make more hand motions so that people can interpret them in different ways.
That's what I was like. This is going to be great for our audio listeners.
This is going to be audio podcast. This is why you should be watching the podcast whenever we're live. We are a day late. And that is because Xfinity had problems yesterday with internet.
Yep.
It was fine for downloads, but upload speeds were terrible.
Yeah.
So, like, Patrick tried to stream in the morning, and it just failed on him. He had it up for, like, a second, and then as soon as he tried to do the game and stream at the same time...
Yeah, it was all bad.
And then it just didn't clear up throughout the day, and I think it finally did at, like, 5 o'clock or something like that.
Did it? Yeah.
I think the message finally went away, and we had to ready to say, no, we're just going to do it later. We might have been able to do it since we don't do anything like intensive or try to stream and
but why take the
do
chance?
Stuff. But yeah, a day late's fine.
It was kind of nice.
Short.
Honestly, like it felt like Saturday was a nice, super long day. And I'm not saying the podcast screws up my day, but it's just like the fact that
that's what you're saying.
No. The fact that like we were we have that. Let me move this a little bit closer. We had that plan, and then it just we weren't doing it. It was just like, and Crystal was gone all day. It was great.
Is that why you did the Spider-Man burger review, or was that today?
No. We actually did that on I think Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday. I recorded. I just didn't do the editing yet. So,
is that why you were late to the stream on Thursday?
No. Why was I late on Thursday?
You said you were eating. You said
no. Okay, so Thursday, my warehouse guy had the day off, so I had to close up everything up at 5, and didn't get lunch either, but closed everything up at 5. So I left later, and the traffic getting from where we work to where we live.
I know.
So you try to leave a little bit earlier. The earlier you leave, the little less time it'll take to get home. And actually, though, honestly, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be on the way home. But
it's weird because from where we work over, so we're here in the kind of the middle of the Bay Area. Would you say Cache Valley kind of is? Like,
I would say, Hayward technically is the heart of the Bay, and where we're at is basically the same. So I would.
So somewhere, but
we're in the middle.
So we work in Fremont, around Fremont. Technically, I'm in Newark. I think you might actually be in Fremont.
I am in Fremont.
I don't know, but. Which is supposedly the best city in America, the happiest city in America.
Newark?
No, Fremont.
I was like, Newark's the armpit of the...
See, I say that to people. Nobody believes me that's the saying. It's the armpit of the Bay Area. It's because it was swampland for the longest time.
Yep.
And it used to stink. Now only Milpitas stinks. But nonetheless, Fremont is about 15 minutes away. And what I've noticed is if you leave at 4 or you leave at 6, maybe 6:30... traffic is fine. Takes you about 45 minutes to get back. If you leave at 5, traffic's an hour and a half. Like, it's ridiculous how much longer it gets between that 1 hour swing. Even 4:30 is pushing it, and even 5:30 is pushing it. But like in that 4:30, 5:30 time frame.
When I'm trying to think, which way do you normally go?
So if I go home, now this is directions with it be like that. When I go back, I take I don't go up Stevenson. I go over to Center from where I'm at. Mm-hmm. So over to Center, and then I go up Center all the way up to Fremont Boulevard, go all the way over to Dakota, and then cut up, and then cut by Quarry Lakes. Not Dakota, I'm sorry, I don't know. Thornton. I'm sorry. Central Fremont Street to Thornton, mm-hmm. and then cut over by Quarry Lakes, and then I get to go Dakota up to Mission Boulevard. That saves me a good 10, sometimes 15 minutes of travel. Because getting from where I am at the very back of Stevenson Boulevard, like it is the end of Stevenson Boulevard where we are, to Mission Boulevard can take 30 minutes with all the lights if I were just to take that up, where it doesn't take as long going the other way.
What up,
Center up to Fremont to Hooverton, then over to Quarry Lakes, Dakota to Mission Boulevard. Got it. Yep, that's right. And then, then you'll end up in Shanksville, Newark.
If, like, what I normally do is either I go up Stevenson up to the School of the Deaf mm-hmm. and make a left there, and then come up.
Yeah,
Walnut,
I know where that's at.
Or I'll make a left on Paseo Padre and then go down Walnut.
You could even do that earlier than then. You could make a left. But that's from where you're coming from. Are you going up Auto Mall or do you come back to Stevenson?
No, I go the back way. Like I go around Valentine. Not Valentine. Ballantyne. It's Ballantyne with the B.
Yeah, Ballantyne.
And then I go that back way past the Walmart and then make the right onto Stevenson.
So if you go across the bridge there, and then I know this is probably riveting conversation, but if you know where the Suju's coffee is? Yeah. So if you make a left there and follow it straight, that'll take you by the Target and everywhere.
Is that Blackow?
It's not Blackow. It's a back street. Basically, you go by like an elementary school, and then if you pass that school, you make a left, and then go by the Target. You know where the Target and the Trader Joe's and all that stuff, the hub. If you go straight, you're basically on Walnut, right there, and you bypass everything that's going up Stevenson.
Maybe I'll try that.
So, but yeah, you could even go over to like New Park Mall type area and go up Target. No, it's not Target, Crystal. It's Targis, as we learned last time.
Tarjay.
Oh no, it's Targis. Just like Starbies.
I've never heard
Prager's
it be called Star.
No, we're starting a new trend.
Yeah, it be like that talk.
It be like that Targis. I'm going to Targis.
Okay, one of these dogs busted ass, and I don't see one
Zach.
in here. It is Zach, you nasty big ass moose.
This is the problem with having open doors and dogs being allowed to come in places. That they have bad guests.
But I left. I went my little back way. Now you go down Mission. It actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be around that time, and so I got home pretty quick. But still leaving at 5, and then we were having dinner. I don't think we got anything.
That's
night,
right. That's the dinner I wasn't invited to.
Hold on.
Or was that Friday?
That was what?
The Friday was the dinner I wasn't invited to.
Oh yeah, but I knew you had plans.
No, I didn't. Not Friday.
No, wait, Friday. Oh no, I take that back. I assumed that you were. By the time we decided to do something, I assumed you were.
Eaten.
You had usually have. But if it get close to 5, you already usually have plans.
I was also home for most of the day on Friday because it wasn't filmed well.
So. Crystal, what day did I record that review that's up right now on Solo 64 YouTube channel, food review? Was that Wednesday or was that Thursday?
Oh my God, the plugs don't stop.
I will punch you, Ito.
Product placement. Yeah.
Product placement. Anyways,
this podcast sponsored
maybe
by
it was Thursday.
Patrick's
we got it.
Fat Guy Food Reviews.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Wednesday. I just think by the time I got home, we ate. We were just gonna eat normal dinner or whatever, but it was just a matter of, I wasn't gonna rush either. So
I'm surprised you even did it. She says
it was Thursday. Okay.
Yeah. I'm surprised you even ate it because I know your experience with Burger King and how you don't like Burger King, your dry ass burgers supposedly.
Did you watch the review?
I did.
Okay. Well, leave it
I'm
at
not
that.
gonna
I was
ruin
actually
anything.
surprised. But, like I said, here's the thing.
Alert.
Here's the thing. Their chicken sandwiches are bomb. The long one. You know what I'm talking about. But
long and strong.
If every once in a while, Crystal wants to go there, and I'll go and eat there. I'm not like her, where it's like, you want to eat there because you like it and I don't. You know what she tried to tell me today? I'm going to buy stuff for spaghetti. Get me all hyped up for fucking spaghetti.
Uh-huh.
And then she goes, oh, but they don't have the spaghetti noodles, the protein spaghetti noodles, so I'm going to get the bow tie ones. I was like, that's not fucking spaghetti. That's fucking regular bow tie pasta. You can't. I was like, I guess I'll eat it if you make it, but that's not fucking spaghetti. And her brother agreed with me, and she's like, well, I guess I can get the regular pasta then. You don't fuck around with my emotions like that, because she don't like spaghetti. So when I get spaghetti finally, it's a fucking treat. So don't fucking...
Wait, how do you not like spaghetti if you're getting just noodle? It's just fucking noodles.
She
There's
likes
nothing
lasagna.
different.
She likes... You know that argument about Mexican food is basically food wrapped in a tortilla?
Yeah.
That's a lot of... Not all Italian food,
That's
but
more
that's a
American
lot.
Italian stuff, but yeah.
Okay, but either way, if you
Right.
think of... When you think of Italian, what do you think of?
It's
Pastas
a meat dish
and
with
stuff
sauce
like
and some
that.
type
It's
of
a
pasta.
pasta with some sauce and some meat. She loves raviolis, which is spaghetti wrapped around the meat, basically, right? The pasta.
It's dough, pasta dough, yes.
Same thing. Lasagna, flat out spaghetti with meat in between with cheese and sauce. Same thing. Pesto, just a different kind of sauce with a noodle and some kind of meat. And I'm not hating on the food. I'm just, let's break it down to what it, like I said, I'm Mexican. Look what they say about that whole joke. Was it Jim?
It's Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah. Who says that? Like, well, what is a burrito? Well, it's
tortilla
bean,
with meat, cheese, and vegetables.
rice, yeah, and wrapped in a tortilla. Well, what about
What's
a taco?
taco?
It's bean,
tortilla with meat,
wrapped.
cheese, and vegetable.
Yeah.
What's a tostada? It's a tortilla with meat, cheese, and vegetables.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you get that.
She said she should have gotten raviolis instead.
I would eat raviolis. That's fine.
Have you ever had, on the side note of raviolis, do you get the...
Chef Boyardee?
No. Do you get the ones that are in the refrigerated area? When you get the raviolis?
She gets them from Amazon.
Oh, you get them from Amazon? What the hell? You get probably from Amazon Fresh.
Well, that's
so
what I
probably
meant. Yeah, that's what I
They
meant.
probably are the refrigerated. Well, I don't think you can get them anywhere. But if you get like pasta or like tortellini that is in the refrigerated area, oh my God, there's some stuff that's so good. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like I feel like turning John Travolta here.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're refrigerated. I want to try to make my, which is to be a pain in the ass, but I kind of want to try to make my own pasta to do.
You know, do your own pasta dough?
Just to dry it once.
There's like a lot of rolling, and don't you need a pasta maker?
Yeah.
Like to make strands
Like
and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try it.
And then you can
Why
grind
not?
your own beef too. You get a beef grinder?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind having a beef grinder.
I think I have one.
No, nice. I'll just borrow yours.
It's because Kat used to do it for the dogs. So I think that's the reason why I have one.
Well, I'll buy my own then.
No, it was still used to grind beef.
Oh.
It would grind beef and like tripe and stuff
I thought
like
maybe
that.
you were like grinding other animals up because
No, we're
you
not
do have a
doing-
pit bull. So
I do have a pit bull, but children aren't allowed in this house, and now you know why.
over there looking.
See, she doesn't even want to borrow mine. She wants to borrow Joey's mixer, is what she's saying. I don't know.
We're talking about grinding meat, not a mixer, dummy.
But yeah, pasta maker you need to get to do the strands of pasta. And
I
then
think
you
it would be
set 'em out
fun.
and-
It'd be a challenge, and that's why I kind of want to do it. I like doing that kind of stuff with cooking.
Oh, TikTok seems like it makes it super easy. I see
I
so
don't-
many people out there. Oh, make your own stuff. And like, how
Well-
much time? Look how long have you been making this pasta? How long? Tell me.
Exactly.
You've been a chef for 25 years. I've never done it. So you're saying it's only going to be 5
Well,
minutes? You should do this.
let me just-
better for you.
Let me just put the fact that I'm not talking about making pasta because of TikTok. Okay.
No.
Because
I'm just saying that
this is something I've wanted to do before TikTok was even a thing.
I just say that they make it seem like it's super easy, but it's not.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I mean, the attachment has for pasta. Oh, okay. Well, that's
but
fine.
just-
You didn't say that. We were talking about grinding up children in meat.
Yeah, for
grinders
pit
and stuff,
bulls.
For pit bulls.
Yeah.
Because they have a thirst for blood.
There's an everything TikTok there.
There's
Keto.
a pasta. Bro.
Bro. I'm on Chef
TikTok is
TikTok.
damn near like the new YouTube.
Basically.
But I'd rather go to YouTube if I'm going to learn something like that because they'll actually explain it step by step instead of rushing into a 2-second video.
Here, look at this. And they always use that really shitty AI voice for a lot of those things.
Here is a pasta maker.
I make this for my family every day, and they love it.
Or
put a comment below and let me know where you're from so I can send you lots of hugs. And it's like...
Then they use the Scream one. God. This is for my family. I make pasta for them.
Vin Diesel? When you're here, your family.
You see that TikTok I just sent you?
Which one?
So it was Michelle Rodriguez, and she was like, "How many Marvel movies can you really make? I mean, come on!" And then some chick comes on, like doing all this in the camera thing, like looking at them all crazy, and then it's like, "Isn't this you?" And it's like 10 Fast and Furious movies.
But she wasn't in like 3 of them.
What? No, it was more than that. I think she's only been in like.
She came back in the 5th one, didn't she? Or was it the 6th one that she came back?
The 7th one.
Was it? I thought it was earlier.
So let's see. You got the first one she was in, and then you have the second one was with Paul Walker and Tyrese. The third one's in Tokyo. The 4th one is
when they get back together
in Brazil.
Right.
I think she shows up at the end. Maybe it was 6. She shows up at the end of
Fast 5.
Yeah, as like a hint thing, and then she's in 6.
Right. So she's out of 2, 3, 4, 5. No, she has to be in 3, or she has to be in 2 or 4 because she dies. She doesn't die in the first one, right?
No.
Because that's the reason why they think she's gone, because they think she's dead. She dies in one of them.
She's not in the 4th one. I know that. When they're in Brazil.
I thought the Brazilian one
maybe
was
she is
5.
At the beginning, and
I thought Brazil was 5, and then 4 is them. I don't fucking know. I don't know the Fastiverse. Okay,
I haven't seen
Nothing
it after
like
5, so.
Yeah, I know. Fucking Ito is on the What Is Love TikTok because I keep getting fucking What Is Love TikToks and reels from him every fucking week. There's always a ton there, and she is not dead. She is alive, and they have a kid now. That's part of this one with Jason Momoa coming in and trying to kidnap the kid.
Oh, I didn't know what that was about.
So, you didn't know what that's about?
I didn't know that.
He's trying to ruin the family. It's all in the fucking trailers. At least, I mean, I've never seen a fucking Fast and Furious since the 2nd one. I think so. Yeah, I don't think I've seen. I have not seen 4 on. I just felt like it was like ridiculous, even though they're like, oh, it's a return to form. Like, return to form for what? Like, because Tokyo dricks up.
Let's see, Michelle Rodriguez.
But yeah, I think she dies in 4 and then comes back in 6. And the reason only is because my ex-sister-in-law, Andrea, is a huge Michelle Rodriguez fan for some reason. Now, you know what's on Peacock? Or is it not Peacock? Paramount Plus is the Dungeons and Dragons movie, which I mean to watch when we're done after this. Because I wanted to see it in the theater, and now that it's on Paramount Plus, I'll just watch it to see if it was any good. Discord watch party for D&D. It's on Paramount Plus.
I guess she was in 4.
Yeah, because I think she dies in 4, and then she's back in 6. So she only skipped out on 1 fucking movie. And even then, if she's hinted at that she's coming back in 5, right, then she's back.
Wouldn't that be 2 she's then? Because she wasn't in 2. And
You're right, so it'd be 2 movies.
Well, you know why she was in those 2 movies? Because she just wants to get laid.
Oh, I don't know the reference.
Really? Resident Evil?
No.
Maybe you made a big ass thing about it on your when you did a review on Terrible Terrors.
Was she in the first Resident Evil?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember on the train?
I'm telling you, my mind right now is in a fog with this shit.
Because I remember that was the whole thing, and I even sent you memes and shit about it. And you're I just want to get laid.
You can probably tell I'm a little glistening because I'm feeling a little hot. But that's also for being upstairs. It's getting warmer.
It is.
Slowly but surely. I think this week we're going to get 70s most of the week, which sucks for going into work because I can't wear shorts. So
why?
Because the only day I could wear shorts would be on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Why?
Because there's a dress code when you're in white collar work. Men have to wear pants.
That's closes.
It's sexist. Yes, women can wear.
Yeah, exactly. It is
Dresses
sexist.
and everything.
Women's wearing dresses and skirts and tight mini
That's
skirts
why
with their booty.
There is restrictions that women face every day that men don't face.
See?
But when it comes to the work environment and it comes to like big events like weddings and funerals and shit like that, men always have to be in like full outfits, suits, hot as hell.
That's I think we should start up. I'm tired of them women explaining that to me, and we need to step up about this. This is bullshit.
You need to go on a staycation to stop the women explaining.
First of all, wear those 90s pants that were unzipped.
Oh, where? What, like Jinko?
No, he's talking about the ones that were pants, but if you unzip them, they became shorts.
Oh, God. Not those. Not those. Those are almost like the ones that the mobsters wear, the tracksuit type pants that you have out there. Well, you know what we need? We need to institute breakaway pants at work.
I still got mine from. I got a pair when I was doing track and field when I was doing shot put and disc because we had to wear shorts.
I just imagine you going into your boss. It's like too hot, and he's like, "No, you can't." Well, fuck you! I quit. And you just rip the pants.
Let me see. Let me see if I can find this picture. Fuck it, I quit.
Fuck it, I quit. Dun 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 dun. Where the fuck the music and the lights come from?
And I'm gonna throw the pants behind me, and they're gonna go into slow motion with some explosions.
Sir, this is Olive Garden. Why are you doing this here? Because we're family.
Because family.
You said we're family when you're here.
And I want that.
And when I'm around family, I don't wear pants.
I want them breadsticks though.
Aren't you wearing them in your track and field picture?
I'm looking for it right now.
But nonetheless, so
who said? Oh, Crystal.
Yeah, Crystal said it. So
what do you think I'm looking for, woman?
But he's looking for pictures to show people on an audio format, but we are in video at the same time. We've got. Before I really get into everything about how everything was with you, I'm just going to say what we're basically doing today. We just have a bunch of weird news, some stories I just want to get reactions out of Patrick from. And that's about what we're doing just because it's a Sunday. I feel like I might be actually getting sick, and I don't want to pass anything on to him. And we're going to be leaving for Briggs' wedding next week, which is crazy to think about that's
is no
next
longer
week.
A secret.
It's no longer a secret, no, which sucks. And even then, the bachelor party thing was supposed to be a secret too, and then Josh goes and blurts it out. And I'm like, are you kidding me? We all agreed, like, let's at least surprise him with the bachelor party.
Probably forgot.
Cooties. Yeah, I'm going to give Patrick cooties because that's what Kindles do. They give cooties.
Dumb cooties.
That's why the wife left, because she got cooties. Oh, okay. Anyway, so how was your week besides crazy?
Last week was fun because, so since I've been eating a lot better, I don't eat a lot of greasy stuff anymore. Now, you're going to say, oh, you're just talking about a food review. But I mean, like, constantly. And the other thing is, like, a burger is one thing compared to, we went to a Chinese restaurant on Sunday night for Mother's Day to take my mother-in-law, and it's our favorite place we go to all the time. And whether it's really good Chinese food or bad Chinese food, it's going to be greasy no matter what.
Get that MSG in there.
Exactly. And so since Sunday night all the way to Wednesday, I probably took about 22 shits. You're welcome.
What is this, a Limp Bizkit song? 22 shits in an empty song.
I got 22 shits and an upset stomach. But yeah, so that was not a fun week.
Yes, that was the real chocolate starfish.
You ain't lying. Oh my God.
Think about it this way. It probably is relatively clean because if you're shitting if it's like diarrhea shits, then there's a lot of water coming with it.
No. It was a little bit of both. Yeah,
you get a little bidet action going without having a bidet.
I needed a bidet because the butthole was hurting from all the toilet paper.
Did those shits make the weight come off? That's
what I said. That's what I said. That's the only good thing is I probably lost a good 10 pounds in the process of this. I kid you not, because, man, it was brutal. But Thursday it was the first day I actually felt normal. I had a little bit. I could feel it a little bit, but by Friday, it was like back to business as normal, which was good. Because Chris was like, "Oh, if you get one more day like this, you probably should call your doctor." And I'm like, "Well, we'll see. It'll go through." I'm like, because you know me, I'm one of those people that's like, you go to the doctor, you're really sick. No, I'm fine. And then I'm like, fine, I'll go.
Like one of those people, they're called men, right?
Yeah, I'm a man. The fuck?
Go to the doctor on your deathbed. Be a man.
Be a man. Exactly. So, but yeah, other than that, Thursday was a little bit of... So that was the other thing. I when my guy came in on Friday from being off Thursday, I told him, I'm convinced you knew that we were going to get... We ended up getting 7 pallets in. I was convinced you got a phone call and that's why you took the damn day off. But, so Friday... I was like, I had to move a bunch of shit around. I had my little pity party on Thursday. I was pissed. Because the thing is, my store is only supposed to have a certain amount of liquid. Mm-hmm. We're not supposed to go over. That's just the law where we're at. And I'm pretty sure we're close to being over now, if not over with this. Because what they're trying to do is trying to do price protection. And so they order a bunch of shit. But sometimes it's like, Zach... sometimes it's like
what I need to do is I need to get on like a robot thing so that I can just go
yeah.
He's looking up at that damn camera too. He was like, how can I fuck this thing up some more?
But like I said, I get it. You're trying to do the price protection, but sometimes it's like my store's not huge. We're growing, and which is a good thing. But sometimes I can't fit all this shit in here. Mm-hmm. So it's like I was like kind of pissy that day. Like, God damn it, I don't fucking want to put all this shit. I don't got that much room. And I let that pity party out. And then so Friday, I got my ass up early, got to work by 6:30, and just started moving shit around, making more room, clearing some shit out, condensing some stuff down that I can condense. Some of it I didn't want to do, but some of it was like, well, I'll just do it for now, and I can always change it back later, kind of a thing. And so my guys come in like, looking at me like, oh, you're here, like, oh, what's going on? Because there's a pile of pallets just stacked up from shit I moved around. And I'm like, I had to make room. And look at all this space now, It's like, just, I'm not going to sit around and do it on normal time. I get here and get it early. And the plan was to leave early on Friday, like around 3. Ended up not leaving till about 3:30, 3:40, of course. I got one of my shops was calling me up at like 3:30. He's like, as I'm like leaving the parking lot. Oh, I forgot to call this morning, and this huge order. And now it's a company that spends a shitload of money with us a month. So I'm like, see what I can do, because if I couldn't force a driver to work overtime to take it. I go, well, I'll see if I can get someone to take it. If not, I'll have to take it tomorrow. And that was the plan. If no one was going to take it, one guy I already wasn't even going to ask because he lives in that area. So I was going to make him go there super late, fight traffic to get back, and then have to go right back. And we're not allowed to say, take this on your way home kind of thing, because,
Does that come with like a hint, hint, wink, wink type thing?
What do you mean?
Like, we're not telling you to take this on your way home.
No, I don't know. We can't. I felt like I haven't done it before, but then it was like they're really cracking down because of other people who complain about, no one made you like me. When I went up to Reno, they needed something, and I'm like, well, instead of having to pay freight, I was already going there on Saturday. They wouldn't get it till Monday. I went up there on a Friday, and I just dropped it off to them. Now, I mean, I'm salary, so it's a little different too.
Right, but if you're going to do it, and
it's like, whatever, who cares? If I'm driving past the place on the way home.
If we had people we knew that lived in Kansas and they needed something from the office, rather than, like if they lived in Wichita, let's say, I could be like, I'll just take it because it's going to take me 2 days to get there or take 5 days to deliver. Yeah. Like, I'll just stop by and then I'll meet you in person. Here you go. And then go off.
Exactly.
Like, just make it easier.
But yeah, so I wasn't going to ask him to do it. But I had one driver that ended up taking it, luckily, because otherwise I would have been probably not streaming. Well, I didn't stream anyway Saturday morning because of the internet issue, like we said. But
probably wouldn't even have joined us.
If not, I would have joined you late, because I would have said, what time do you guys open? If they told me they were going to be there at 7:30, I would have been there at 7:30, so I probably could have come back afterwards, but Anyways, other than that, not too bad. How about yourself, sir?
The week before was ridiculous just because it was the mock audit week, and that was crazy. Just like in getting the stuff and leading up to it, where it was constant, like, you know, the person that is our quality department, basically her, you know, she's constantly coming to me, constantly asking questions, constantly, can you review this? Can you rewrite this? Can you do this? Can you do this? And it was always like, I was trying to do that and do this and do that and do this. And it was just like, so we got it all done. And basically, like, and I don't think I talked about it here, but I don't know if I talked about it with you as well. So we basically have, so when you do like an FDA audit, right? It's not just about, you know, how is the place, right? We're not just going to look at that. Now, I've gone through at least 3, maybe 4, 2 that are FDA US, and then 2 that were international. The Japanese one was the worst because the guy literally took out a white glove and he wiped his finger down the shelves to see if there's any dirt, because it has to be clean. Like everything has to be that clean because they're medical devices, and they're also sterile medical devices, and even the dust in the air, they worry that if there's too much, then it gets into the packaging and yada, yada, yada. So, but they don't just check on how does your inventory look? How does this place, how do you function? It also look at how all your processes are. So like your SOPs that tell you how to do X, Y, and Z. And are you following them? So I'm going to tell a story of my coworker's husband. Now he works for a big giant corporation that shall not be named, but does a lot of business with online shopping. So you can probably guess what it is. But he is
Sears.
Yes, Sears. You're right. Totally Sears. And so he works in a department where they're dealing with the FDA because of what they have to do and what they're trying to incorporate into things that are going to be within people's lives. And so they had a contractor there that was doing stuff. Now, whenever you have contractors, dependent upon what you're doing, you have to have the contractors know what's going on. Mm-hmm. They have to know your SOPs, and they should automatically, if they can't, if they just don't know, they should say, sorry, I don't know. Let me get you somebody that does. This guy didn't do that because he wasn't trained properly to do that type of thing. So he ended up spilling a bunch of shit he wasn't supposed to tell the FDA. And so they end up having a giant meeting. They end up having to have another audit. Like, this was just a question, like a quick audit, should have been done within the day. It ended up becoming like a 5-day audit.
Jesus.
In his department because, and then they required the contractor that they hired to be there every day because he was the one that said these things. And they need to know, well, you guys didn't tell us. Why is he telling us these things? And we want him to back up what he said. Dumbass. And so when you do that, I throw never food, wash hands after bathroom.
Hey, FDA, I thought food never washed hands after bathroom.
It's not just that. It's literally like when you do
never touch myself.
When you do medical grade stuff, it's literally like, how do you guys process your sales orders? What is the process to get a sales order in and to ship it out? And you have to lay it down step by step, and then this is what you follow. You have something in place. So basically, we were writing all of these things. She was doing the primary stuff. I was basically reviewing and making sure that it matched up to what we actually did. Mm-hmm. And then we'd verify, and then we released it. And then we have a online system that has all the documents in it. Once people have the documents in, it gets sent to everybody, and everybody trains on the document. And then sometimes are like asked questions as like an exam, and you have to pass the exam to be properly trained and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of them are just read. Like, you just have to read through the document. You don't even have to really read it. You can just say, I read it, and you're done with it. Like, for some people, I'm like, look, if you don't have time, do that. But once you're done, you need to go back and read it, because I'm going to ask you questions about this later. That's why I told all my people, like, if you do not have the time, just do it, but we will talk about this later on. I never have to do that with those people, but there are other people in company that wait to the very last minute to even read this shit. So basically, it's like the mock audit is, where are you guys in terms of how you would pass a real audit, right? And last time we did it, there's 3 different categories. There's major issues, there's minor issues, and there's OFIs, which is just basically they need to be fixed. Like there's minor, it's not an issue, but there's an infringement that if you fixed it, it would be perfectly fine. But the rest of the document, except for this small part, is fine, right? Where minor might be, this section makes no sense. You guys really don't follow this. Change this. A major would be, you don't have a document for this. It's not covered in anything that you do. It's blah, blah, blah. So last time we had, as a company, we had 67 major infractions, no minors, and we had 15 OFIs. After this one, we had 0 major issues, 0 minor, and 14 OFIs, and all of them were different than the previous ones. So everything that we had to do were just minor fixes, or it's like, hey, I need supplemental documentation, which is easy for us to generate. That's it. That's all we had. So, and this is less than a year. And so it's all this leading up to this point, like why I was partially stressing out and just like felt overwhelmed. And so that was a lot of what was going on, which was fantastic. It was great that we did that. And she thanked me after. I'm like, dude, like, don't thank me, because this is all you. This isn't anybody else in the company. There's been other people that have tried to do the same thing. You push, maybe push people, but she's not the type of person that's like pushy and like over my shoulder every minute. Yeah. It's just like, dude, I need the document finished. Like, we're almost done. I'm sorry to keep bugging you, but we need to get it. And just, can you please try to get it to me? Give me a time frame that you can do it by, today or tomorrow, whatever. And then she'd come by and she'd ask, and I get it. And she always felt, she's like, I'm sorry if I'm like, no, like, you have to do that with me sometimes, because I will be doing what you want. And then it's like, there's people think there's a fire going on over here, but this is super important for me to finish. And this turned out to be absolutely nothing. Yeah. Right? Like, this is not matching up. Well, this is your job. You make it match. I provided you with the data. You have all the data. Match your data. Like, don't tell me
you need data. I gave data.
Right.
Fix.
Right. And so that's the type of thing that was going on with all of this stuff. And so, that was done. This last week it was a lot lighter, but again, Friday I basically didn't sleep Thursday night. Like, I was tossing and turning. I had this weird dream where all of a sudden I got like super cold. Like, I was like shivering in bed, and it wasn't cold up here at all. Like, my feet felt like they were like, or my legs felt like they were super warm. Like, when I had the covers on, I was too hot. But then, like, if I just had the top one, it was cold. But I had this dream that there was like, the reason that I was cold is because there was weird like pressure points underneath the blanket, and I wasn't matching them properly. And if I matched, like, it was a fucking video game, like I'm playing a game of match where I matched the star to the star. Okay, that activates the heat portion of that thing. And that was like the dream that I was having.
Ito has a better explanation. He said ghost.
Oh, it probably was ghost. Probably was getting freezing ghosts.
Well, all you had to do
ghost
next time
of wives past.
Next time you have that problem with the ghost, you just got to get the clay pot out and start, put on some.
Why are you doing like this?
Because the clay pot.
Clay pot, and
I didn't say fuck it. I said clay pot. And play some. What's it called? I'm gonna go blank on the song.
You're talking about Righteous Brothers, Unchained Melody. Jesus Christ! I don't need Patrick Swayze behind me.
No, but it'll be the white.
It's not going to be a bitch ghost. Because I'd have to do it from.
He's going to show up as Tuwong Fu. I mean, what's his name?
Julie Newmar for Tuwong Fu. Thanks for everything.
Yeah, but I mean, he wasn't playing Julie Newmar.
No, he wasn't. He was playing a drag queen.
Yeah, he'll show up like that and help you with the pot, and then you go back to sleep.
Yeah, clay pot full of honey and hump it. Ew! I don't want to get everything sticky, especially on the bed. I don't
know how you fuck Ito, but we're cool with the sticky part.
He's ass down, face up.
Oh, jeez. You probably have Leslie Nielsen
behind you. Probably will have him, and he'll be in the full body condom. But But yeah, so I just couldn't sleep, and then I got up, and then the other thing that sucks is I don't know where my key fob is for the door to get into work, because I thought I dropped it here. Like I went to reach down into it, into where I keep it in my bag, and it wasn't there. I'm like, well, that's no good because I'm always the first one there. And then I actually, on Friday, I drove into work, couldn't find it. I have a feeling that it dropped out of my bag when I left the car, and I think it ended up rolling underneath the car, but I can't tell because I sat there for over a half an hour, and I was just feeling like shit. And then I text my boss, I'm like, I'm taking PTO. Like Friday is starting off to a terrible, terrible day. I didn't sleep. I feel like crap when I woke up. I drive here. I think I left my key fob at home. And then when I came back here, no key fob. So it must have fallen out of the bag when I got out of the car.
Yeah.
And I just didn't hear it hit the ground. So now I've got to figure out how to get in tomorrow, which means I'm just going to show up and hopefully wait for somebody. Hopefully somebody will be there by 8 o'clock. And then I'll get in there and I'll just do some work from the car while I sit there, because I can still leech the Wi-Fi from the spot at least and do something instead of doing nothing while I'm sitting there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just been, the only other thing that was fun is I finished that game that I started playing on like Thursday, which was that Death's Door.
Death's Door, yeah.
And so, which is a lot of fun, and actually talked about it quite a bit yesterday on the Terrible Terror mini episode. I ended up finishing it on Friday night after we got off, because I was just like, I was basically at the last boss, as you guys were like, oh, well, I think I'm done for the night. And I'm like, okay, bye-bye, stupid piece of shit. But there were a couple times in that where I was like, I got frustrated over certain mechanics. But for the most part, the game, it really is like, so they compare it, some people compare it to like the Demon Souls, Dark Souls games. And I don't compare it to that. Where I do compare to that a little bit is pattern recognition. That really gets you about the Dark Souls type games, is that you recognize the patterns the bosses do and you punish the patterns, right? That's how you beat most of the enemies in the game. And so it does do that. So like, especially the big bosses, you learn the patterns and get through them. And the only boss besides the last two bosses are the only two bosses. No, not the last boss and the second to last boss that I've faced so far were the only bosses I died to on at least the first or second time, because I wasn't getting the pattern down. But like the very first one that you fight, pattern's easy. And there was a cool fight against a giant like witch with an urn. That was fun. The frog one, while it was annoying, it was still a lot of fun. It's just a fun game. It's more like a Zelda game with like attack patterns and dodging and rolling, and got to get in there, get your hits in, and then you don't have health bars for anything, but they slowly crack. Like you'll see the lines in them crack, and then as they crack, let you fart again.
Quit farting.
Like that Indian video. Yeah, he sent me this video of the condom dance thing. Oh, Jesus Christ. But yeah, that game was fun. So that's what I spent doing Friday, because I'm like, I'm home, I'm sick, I'm just going to play
video games. You didn't know work on Friday?
I did nothing. I didn't know. I lie. I did some stuff in the morning because my boss asked me, she's like, can you help us do something? And this was I left there at 8 o'clock because I stayed till 8. I got there at 7:20. Realized I had no key, stayed till 8 o'clock, said I'm going home. Screw you guys, I'm going home. Got back here by about 8:15, 8:20 because no traffic getting back. Yeah. And then she's like, are you in the office or are you at home? I'm like, I just got home. Give me a second. And then I helped them with some Google AdWords stuff. And then after the AdWords stuff was done, then she called me to do one last thing to correct something, which I went back and I corrected. And then I'm like, okay, if you need me, I'll answer things, but I may not answer right away. And then I just started playing that game and then stopped at like 2, took a nap, and then went back to playing it before we started playing it at night. Well, I went and make dinner and stuff like that. Actually, I don't even think I made dinner that year.
Since Crystal didn't want to invite you.
Yeah. Well, I ended up getting
that bitch.
I think a cheesesteak is what I ended up getting for dinner that night.
Did you get their curly fries?
I did get their curly fries, but they don't travel so well. That's the only problem. I should have thrown them in the air fryer is what I should have done, so they crisp up a little bit. So I always, what's your go-to when you go to get a cheesesteak from the cheesesteak shop?
Oh, the what the fuck's it called? The one that has the mushrooms.
The mushrooms and the spinach?
No, No, it's mushrooms.
Oh, it's just the mushroom? I think it's just called the mushroom one.
Yeah, but I don't, depending on how late we get it or whatever, I sometimes don't get it with the peppers just because my antacid thing.
Right.
But for the most part, yeah, usually, if anything, I don't mind the onions and stuff, but I normally just get it with the meat and the mushrooms, and that's it.
So I always get the spinach one. I forgot what it's called too, but they have the spinach and then they put the mushrooms in with the spinach too. Mm-hmm. So that's why I like it. And so I was like, oh, I want to try something maybe different. And they had the Western one, and I was like, okay, bacon and onion rings and then barbecue sauce. Everything was fine except for the barbecue sauce was terrible. I would suggest making that whole thing without the barbecue sauce.
Vegan Philly steak. There wouldn't be no steak if there was a vegan.
They actually do have vegan option or vegetarian options there.
Stupid. They need to stop catering to these psycho people.
Psycho people. We're
omnivores. We were born to eat.
We were born to be omnivores, and we can survive on either.
Have you seen vegans?
Yeah,
do they look healthy? Is their mental state correct? No.
You think just because the vocal vegan community are weirdos and idiots, but I bet you the vegan community that just doesn't give a shit that you eat meat, they're probably normal people. I've met normal vegans before.
Unless it's a food allergy, an actual food allergy, then I shouldn't have to worry about my menu around you.
You're not worrying about your menu, just you have options.
No. Options are meat or another meat.
I know. I remember Kat had me go to a vegan restaurant once.
I would have went. You're a better man than me.
We went to this place in Livermore. It actually wasn't that bad. I looked at the whole menu and I was like, oh man. But they had like a potato dish that was made like it was Thai food. So it tasted more like just Thai food. And I was like, this is fine. But I almost made the joke, and I knew she would have gotten pissed off at me at the time. And I made the joke of, man, they should have meat options here at this vegan restaurant. So that way that people that want to have meat or have the ability to have meat.
Yeah, because it's not that way the other way around, right?
Right.
All these other restaurants are supposed to cater to your little crybaby bullshit, but you can't have an option for meat at the vegan restaurant? That's fucking meatness.
So I don't think that they have a vegan Philly cheesesteak, and the only reason that they don't have a vegan one
they have a vegan
they don't
option,
have
but
vegan
it's not
cheese. They have vegetarian options. The cheese is not vegan that they have there, and the fact they use the same grill that the meat is cooked
I'm not going to eat the cheese or milk.
It's nothing made from animals. They don't eat honey either because it comes from bees.
Please.
Though there are some dumb people out there. You see the dumb vegans out there where they're just like, oh yeah, I'm vegan.
Some dumb vegans?
And then
they're all dumb.
They're not all dumb.
They're dumb.
They're not.
No, I'm not saying they're like mentality, like they're dumb as in they're not smart, but they're dumb as in they're a dumb person for being stupid.
Because that was thought out well. They're not dumb.
I'm not saying they can't be a rocket scientist.
They're dumb because they're fucking stupid.
They can be a rocket scientist and still be a dumb fuck. You could be a decent person and still be a dumb fucking idiot.
What do you think, Zach? What do you think the answer is?
Fart.
So I'm just gonna come over here and fart.
Oh yeah, my dog's a vegan. They don't even like meat. Okay.
No, you love meat. I know you love meat.
I can see.
Though it's weird.
Meat. Yeah, that's the other stuff too. Yeah. I don't want meat. We don't want nothing like meat, but we're going to eat something that tastes like meat that's a vegetarian, vegan option. Why do you want that option if you don't want nothing to do with meat? Because your body wants that shit because it needs it.
It wants the protein that the meat provides, but you can get that protein from other places. Is it as good as meat protein? No.
And before I forget, because we went off on the whole thing about how they don't have meat options at the vegan restaurant, because that's bullshit. That shouldn't be allowed. But anyways, what were the prices?
They were reasonable.
Like
it was like going to a Thai restaurant, same price. I didn't.
Why should it be the same price? Because you're getting less of what it's supposed to be in the food. See, that's the other thing.
Because there's still everything else. There's the time it took to cook it. Usually it would be more.
I want to talk about that.
But that's because the reason it would be more is because it's specialty. Then that's just inflated fucking pricing with everything, which I'm getting sick of inflated fucking pricing everywhere for anything that you get. Nowadays, everything is way so much more fucking expensive. And I feel like I'm an old fucking man saying that type of shit. But we're talking about like a year ago that it was like way less than what it is now.
There's a reason for that, but I will keep my mouth shut. I do want to go a little bit of rant about though.
What is the reason? I'm curious.
You know what? Let's not get into it.
Oh.
Because we will get into it, and I'm not going to get into it.
I see.
Here's what I'm going to get into though. It's talking about restaurants and pricing and tips. It's a fucking scam. The tipping system is a fucking scam.
Didn't we talk about this like 2 weeks ago?
Did we?
Might have.
I don't think we did. Oh. Maybe we just mentioned. I don't know. I'm just saying. I think it's a scam that if I go to the hole in the wall restaurant or go to the super fancy upscale place, there's a waitress who's going to take my or a waiter, whatever, who's going to take my order, put the order in, bring me a drink, bring me the food. Right? I mean, the basis of what they're... I know sometimes they do a little bit more, but the basis of what a waiter...
The basis of service.
Is. Yes. Same thing. They're going to pick up the food, bring me the food. Why is it that I'm supposed to tip on a percentage when the food that they bring me... If I get, say, a pork chop, baked potato, and corn at the hole-in-the-wall place, but I get a pork chop and a baked potato and corn at the super upscale fancy restaurant, the prices are going to be different. So why am I paying, but they're doing the same fucking job. So why am I paying off a percentage of that? And I don't want to hear waiters or waitresses hitting them. We don't ever get responses anyways. Coming over and saying though, oh, well, we survive on our tips because we don't get paid enough. And I get you. Okay, fine. They pay you low. You get extra money on tips. I'm not arguing with tipping people. The tipping system is a scam though, because if they're doing the same job at the hole in the wall cheaper place, at the upscale place, they're doing the same exact service. Why am I going to give you more of a tip based on the percentage of the food that I'm paying for? That's bullshit. It's a scam. If I want to pay you $5 for your service here, then I should be able to pay you $5 at the service at the other place.
Right.
It should not be based on the price of my fucking food.
But you know that the percentage that whatever you tip doesn't just go to the waiter though, right?
They can split that too. That's not my problem.
Well, you can. You don't have to do the by percentage. You could just do it. Here's $5.
I'm just saying though,
here's
like
$3.
The fact that it keeps going up too, the percentage
right, and
keeps
it
going
sucks
up.
Because the way that tipping is done in America, I totally agree. It sucks. It's the worst thing. Pay them a livable wage instead. You're already raising prices on everything else because you think you got to add inflated things to whatever it is, but then you're not paying your employees. Oh, I have to provide them health care. Well, okay, so you should, and then you don't pay for them.
But here's the other thing. I agree with that too. I'm not going to argue with that part of it either. But I will argue with this. No one's forcing you to be a waiter or waitress.
Yeah, but
just like the bullshit at McDonald's, oh, I can't afford to feed my family of 6 at McDonald's. Well, you're not supposed to be able to feed your family of 6 at McDonald's.
But you used to be able to, though.
Not a family of 6.
Yeah, people were supporting families on being a waiter or waitress.
Maybe supporting a family. I'm talking about like these people that can't keep their legs shut or put a condom on and have a shitload of kids and expect you thinking that they're going to feed a whole family of whatever.
You don't have usually waiters and waitstaff are on, I'd say on average in their 20s. Like there aren't many unless it is an extreme high end restaurant where they are making bank. That restaurant charges you $150 for a steak. You usually don't find the old waiters and waitresses there. Usually the places that in my mind that you're thinking of
like
is
the diners.
like a Denny's.
Yeah.
It's usually they're in their 20s. This is their first job or the job in college. But you used to be able to look at David. David used to be able to put himself through school and pay for a place to live working at IHOP.
Okay.
That was in the 90s.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what he did.
But what I'm saying
he
is,
shouldn't have been able to.
But he's not trying to keep a
but
family
he worked
going.
And did, but
that's my
he's
point,
not trying
though.
to do that. But there are people that
those type of jobs, like McDonald's and and a lot of waiting jobs.
I hate that fucking sentiment, sorry, that Angela put in there, that people are just being useless and don't want to get real jobs. Sometimes you don't have the ability to get a real job. What is a real job anyway? Because people consider fucking mechanics not real job, people that do HVAC not a real job. Is it white collar jobs? Is it blue collar jobs? What's a fucking real job?
Look, while he's answering, those type of jobs should be for people, like you just said, either people going putting themselves through school to make some extra money while they're doing what they're planning on doing with their future, or high school kids, or if you need to just make a little extra income. Those jobs aren't designed to be taking care of a huge family.
They originally weren't, and I can agree with that. But the problem is nowadays there aren't enough jobs for the people that are out there, so that's why these people are taking these jobs.
But take it, but don't complain about it.
But if you... maybe we should get into it for this much.
Look at. The point is this, though. The whole percentage thing. That's what I'm saying. Or if you go somewhere, we're automatically going to... The place that we like to go to, like I just talked about for Mother's Day, we went for the Chinese place. We love the place. We love the people there. My mother-in-law asked for water. I asked for water. We had to ask... The meal came finally, and we had to ask him again, where the hell's the water at? Then we never got refills on the water. Okay? Now, usually we get better service there. But... because there were so many people there, the percentage, the tip was automatically already put in, and it wasn't even I can give the option of what percentage. It was automatically 18%.
Right.
Why? Because you're forcing me to pay for something. Maybe there was something wrong with the meal. Maybe put the place that we like to go to outside. We went to some other random place. You're forcing me to pay for something when we had bad service. Why should I have to do that? That's bullshit. And then, like I said, you want to keep raising up the percentage. If I make the money I make at my job, I don't get tips and shit. If I need extra money, I have to go find another job or find another way to make extra money. So maybe that's what you need to do too, instead of trying to gouge me for tips. When, once again, the person at Denny's brought me a burger, and the tip is going to be, say, $5. But I went to Gordon Ramsay's super fancy burger place, and the burger's up priced because it's Gordon Ramsay, and I'm not hating on Gordon Ramsay, I'm just using it as an example. So now the tip is going to be $25 because the burger was, and I'm being extreme, I get it, but $25 is the tip because how much the food is there.
But you don't have to.
Okay, I'm just saying though. But then they give you shit if you're not tipping good, or if you're doing a lower ass tip. I used to only, no matter where I went, was $5. I used to do that. Then I kind of gave in and started doing the percentage thing because it kind of made whatever about their wages. But now you want to go 10%, 15%, 18%, and then now they're trying to get fucking tips at. You go up to a fucking vending machine or something in order.
That's the story that's over here.
And you're trying to get a fucking tip out of me for what? When I had to do all this shit my fucking self?
Here's the problem is that what he's talking about is self-checkout machines in some stores. They're now having the tip option. And the reason they have the tip option is because they're using POSs that have that built into it. They're
piece of shit systems?
Piece of shit systems. But no, point of sale. These systems... They're if you get something by like Square, okay? Square, the company that originally started the whole thing where you have card readers for your phone and stuff like that, there is a tip option that's built into the app. You don't have to use it. You don't have to turn it on, right? But you could. You could be a person that is in the middle of the fucking flea market and you want to accept payments. Oh, I got a Square. And then just because you're sitting there with stuff there's a tip option. You can still put 0. Yeah. You can always put 0. You do not want to tip. There's no reason that these machines should do that at all.
Oh, I agree.
I agree with it. And I agree that I don't need to put a tip in a ton of different places. Not every place needs a goddamn tip. And I agree that the tipping system is wrong. But I also agree at the same time that you need to, if you're going to get rid of it, that you need to pay these people a decent wage.
No, but see, I don't mind the tipping thing.
I do, because it's way too much. Because you're right. Because you always feel kind of like an asshole if you don't tip a decent amount, unless you're Angelo and you just.
Well, no, it's not that I don't feel like an asshole. I'm saying that I've had waitresses come up to me and try to say shit to me before about it.
Yeah, which is wrong. They shouldn't.
Exactly. That's my point. I mean, fuck, I'll tell you to fuck off to your face. You know me. But it's not like I feel like I have to give you that percentage. And it's the point of, though, is if you're doing the same job at a different restaurant, you're going to get more money because it's a more high-end stale place. That's bullshit.
Nito says, hit none and put your glasses on and walk away.
I mean, I remember one time
it was at a deal with it logo.
It's funny that you said IHOP earlier because it was at IHOP here in Hayward. We were all there afterwards, and it was a horrible service. We weren't getting refills. It took them forever to get us food, all this shit. We didn't leave a tip. Mm-hmm. And she came out there, and she came after, huh?
One on Foothill?
Yeah. She came after, trying to come after us. And I told her straight to her face, because my one cousin, she was feeling like, oh, well. I stepped right in front of her and my other cousin. Well, you were a horrible waitress. What the fuck are we giving you money for? You got our orders wrong. We never got refills. You know, when we asked you to fix the order, you were giving us attitude about it. What the fuck am I giving you a tip for? That's not my problem. Yeah. You know, I mean, someone who's going above and beyond or something that's out of their control, I'm not going to hold that against them. But if I'm not talking about go above and beyond. I meant like something out of their control. You know, and there's certain people I was like, you know what? Let me give you a little extra for that. But I shouldn't be forced or... Okay, tipping is an option. I get that. But don't tell me, 18% is the basis for this food because I brought you your food. But if I was working at, super fancy restaurant, the tip's going to be triple of what it's going to be here when you did the same exact service. That's bullshit. It's a scam.
Right, but I just think that it should just be eliminated all entirely. Like, we don't need any place to
maybe that's true.
Like Angelo here, he says he tips the old fucks that are beggars out of his unit's commissary. They're as volunteers, not trying to be living off of it. Then don't tip them. They shouldn't be tipped. They're volunteering. Why are they even getting paid? They shouldn't get shit.
Like I said,
that's my thing. I don't know why you like. The thing is that we're not here on tipping to pay anybody's salary. But if somebody is working at this position, the problem is that it's not that these people are working these things, is that the wage of the job has not grown up with the other things that are happening. Okay. That somebody that does say is trying to put themselves through school and they're working. I'm not saying this McDonald's, let's just talk about waiters, where a waiter, an average salary for the waiter in the U.S. in general is like $5, and then they live off tips. How is that fair? To somebody that works at McDonald's makes more money than the average waiter does, and the waiter does more work than they do, and I
think that's bullshit also.
Because the thing is that they say they need to live off tips. That tips is what makes up, because you do a good job, and then people that don't tip. So why not just make their wage equal to what the minimum or what the basic is, and get rid of the tips?
You're probably right on that, but the problem is this is how it is. So if this is the situation, I'm not. If they paid them more, and they got rid of the tipping system, fine. But the argument is this is how the system is. So why are they making the tipping system that way? And if you go into the job knowing how much you're going to be making, you're putting yourself in that situation.
It's that
go
way
get another job somewhere else.
It's that way because that's how they're getting paid based upon the fanciness of the restaurant.
Okay.
Right.
But
that's
my
why
point
it's based off the
But if you're going to complain
tax.
about not getting good enough tips and all the other shit, then don't go into that industry. Go to another one.
Right. But then you'll have nobody doing that either.
Okay.
The ultimate change is to eliminate it and pay your people better. That's it. But we live in a system right now.
Restaurants of Association get together and make that decision. As of right now, this is the system.
They're going to tell you it doesn't matter. Overheads,
but that's not my fault, though, that it's like that.
Then don't go out to eat.
Oh, I should limit myself because they want to put themselves in a situation where they're basing their survival off of tips?
So they're out there. So you have somebody that's getting a job because this is the job. These are the hours that they can do. Because maybe they are. Let's just continue on with this is somebody going to school. Okay? You go to school during the whole day. You can't have a regular 9 to 5 job. whatever that's going to be, and this is what you're doing. So you're trying to support yourself by doing this and still going to school. So what is the other way to do it? You've got nobody else to support you.
So you're doing that for the time being until you get to that better position.
But
there's people that want to make this a career and then bitch about not getting a bunch of tip money. That's your problem. That's your fault. That's like if I go into a career, I want to be a cop, but I don't want to deal with people that are going to be assholes to me when I pull them over or get shot at every once in a while.
There's plenty of places where people don't want to do what they're doing, but they work there.
So deal with it, and not make me have to suffer to pay extra money because
when you
got hired at Denny's, because you got hired at Denny's and you didn't get hired at Vegas Strip Super Restaurant. That's not my fault.
But if you take the same fucking job, if you take 2 different jobs, okay, that people hate to do, and one it makes money, you couldn't get this other job. Maybe you don't have the fucking skills to do this job. What is the other job? Just name a job.
For
let's say we're gonna janitor, okay? For some reason you can't be a janitor. There's something that maybe you didn't pass the background. You could get the job as a waiter. You had both of them in front of you, but you could only get this job because they wouldn't hire you for whatever reason. But this janitor, which is considered to be you're not supposed to be in this job forever type of job, right? This makes more money overall on the average than this job. It's the same thing but construction for some people used to be back in the day, where construction was something that some people only did for the summer and then didn't do for the rest of the year. There's still contractors and shit like that have workers, but it wasn't meant to be an everyday job for some people, and now has kind of become that because it's what they can get. But the thing is that these jobs that are over here besides waitering pay better than what is here and what they're able to get. You have to put yourself in that position too. If this paid the same as this, then maybe they would be more inclined to go somewhere else or do whatever it is. Because even somebody that isn't trying to make it a full-time job can't live on it without the tips.
Done?
Yes.
I didn't want to interrupt you.
That's fine.
You also just compared a job where you're constantly cleaning shit in toilets and doing shit constantly, or a construction job where you're busting your ass, lifting, digging, and doing all this shit, to a job where what do you want? This is what they want. Food's ready. Let me carry your food, and they're bullshitting the rest of the time. Maybe wiping a table down. Go to any restaurant and tell me, other than a dinner rush, which is only a certain amount of time, majority of the time, what do you see waitresses and waitresses doing?
It's dependent on the restaurant. If you're talking about a restaurant that's not super busy all the time, yeah. But there's a lot of other shit that goes on there. They also have to go clean the restroom. They got to deal with, what type of customers do you deal with on a daily basis? Do you deal with just everybody's perfectly nice to you and doesn't throw shit in your face? Doesn't throw coffee on you if it's not good enough? Doesn't have the screaming kids over in the corner that you got to deal with?
Screaming kids.
No, but there's tons of shit.
Coffee getting thrown. How often do you think that happens?
Quite a bit, dude. You've seen the stories out there. Yes, so they're not cleaning up a bathroom, but how much, as a janitor, how many times do you think that they're just sitting around doing absolutely nothing or just roaming the halls? How many janitors do you see on a regular basis constantly in the sewer cleaning shit? Construction workers, look at fucking Caltrans. Look at this job over here.
Those are
three people.
Jobs.
Three. But I can cherry pick too, is what I'm saying. It's 3 people do the job, and there are 20 people on that job site. 17 aren't doing shit. They're just sitting there surveying. They're not doing anything. They're not lifting heavy things. It's the same thing. The fucking, the contractor, he's contracting the people to build. He's not on the job actually putting the thing together all the time. He's doing business back, or he's handling phone calls. You could say that about those guys too. But yet he's making all the money. It's all about perspective of where you are, right?
All I can say is, like I said, once again, if you're not happy with your situation or that you're not making good enough money in tips, I shouldn't be forced to pay you extra because you chose that profession. And especially as far as like I said, the self-checkout stuff.
Oh, well,
that's bullshit in general.
I think that's just a
so should I get a tip because I showed up to you? No, they said they even like some of the stadiums and stuff where you get it yourself. There's a tips option on there. I don't think it's software error. No,
that's just because of the software, and leave it in. If you choose to do nothing, you don't.
Why would you even
tip
put
on
that
it?
into the software?
Because they just don't want them to make special software. It's the same thing like what we do in terms of creating software. What's easier, to leave this option in or to figure out how to remove it just for this person?
Well, all I know is the tipping system is just same thing with DoorDash. Once again, with DoorDash, I have to tip you prior to getting the fucking service.
I agree.
Why? Why do I have to tip you prior to you getting? At least with the waiters or waitresses or whatever, that I'm tipping you at the end of the service, right? But say DoorDash once again, and why are they getting a percentage off of what the food is? What the same thing as a waiter or waitress?
It used to not be like that either.
You go, you pick it up, and you drive it to my house. You're a pizza man. We have the pizza man, which you probably don't even need to do that, but $3, right? Tip on the pizza. But you're expecting to get a percentage of. I ordered from Black Angus, and I ordered a steak and stuff, so it's a little more expensive. And your tip's supposed to be like $8, $10 or something. And then my food got cold because you took your sweet ass time and got lost and broke my gate on the way in because you're dumb and. We'll say something not allowed to say on Twitch because you're dumb and you park over the line and let the door hit your car and break the gate and shit. But I'm supposed to give you a $10, $12 tip. The tipping system is dumb and needs to be fixed. Whatever the case may be, you made your argument how to fix it. However they need to fix it, they should fix it. But I should not be paying, point blank period, should not be paying a percentage off of what the food is. I should be paying what I want to pay off of how I got the service. And if that's $5, then it's $5 and if that's not enough to do your family, and whatever the problem with the system is, then maybe you need to find another job or find another part-time job somewhere else to be able to do that. But also don't if you know that there's a problem with the pay in a job, don't make that a career if you want to have a huge ass family either. It's not my fault that you want to spout out a bunch of kids and then say I'm not making enough money at my shit job that I knew that was a shit job when I kept not putting on a condom or kept spreading my legs. And I'm keeping it fair because it's on both sides.
I think that's
and then bitch about it to me and say you need a percentage of fucking off of the food thing.
I get it. Like I say, I think that's a generalization because I don't think that all waitresses and waitresses have like 17 kids.
Well,
I would put
the ones
those
that
in
bitch
other
about
ones.
it.
The ones that bitch about it, okay. We could go back and forth forever. I think it just that is just it. The tipping thing needs to change. DoorDash and those things is one of the reasons why I'm stopping using them because it's the stupid fee. And then,
I agree.
like you said, the tip used to be here's dollars. They used to actually have dollars on there, and you could say, "Oh, I'm going to select $5." Yeah. You know what? Especially like during COVID, I knew that it was people going out there and doing a lot more. I'd be like, "Oh, I'll put a couple extra dollars on this." Instead of it being like, "Oh, the basic is $3. Oh, I'll give him $5." And now you're right; it's percentages, and they're treating it like it's a fucking restaurant, and it's the percentage of the meal because that's what tips have always been. Tips have been that way for the whatever amount of time, but it's not set in stone. You can always just write your own fucking thing in there.
So that was like last night. I told Evie I'd buy her some ice cream. And so she got her ice cream. Crystal got her ice cream. My milkshake didn't show up, but he got his fucking tip. He didn't. Now maybe Baskin Robbins fucked up and didn't make it, but as the DoorDasher, you're supposed to check the fucking order.
No, but they don't really do it anymore. They give them a bag, say, "Here's your bag."
Well, either way,
it's sealed, and they're not supposed to open the bag.
Either way, they fucked up. He got his tip. I did get my money back for it, but still, it's not the point.
Can't you go into the DoorDash order and edit the tip?
No, everybody keeps saying you can, but I can only see add a tip. There's nothing on mine that says. I'm not calling you a liar.
Someone else told me that.
Someone else told me that too, but we have yet to see that option on our. Maybe we need to update it. I don't know. But the only other thing I can say is, can we get a poll in the chat?
No, we can't actually.
Put Pat. If you think I'm right, put Brian.
Oh, we all know what everybody's going to think
he's right.
Because
That's all I'm saying. We'll let the people decide.
Yeah, you can do receipt. At least I'm just looking at DoorDash right now for what it is. Because I know sometimes what happens when it goes, DoorDash goes, I think the next day, when you rate the order, it'll let you modify the tip again. Like it'll give you the option that like you have that and you continue. And then I do that. And then how is everything here? Jorge's service was fine. So they didn't modify the tip because he accepted it. I think after, if he doesn't, at least on Uber Eats, if he hasn't accepted the tip yet, then you can modify the tip.
Well, it's just like I said, like some of the shit you've seen. I'm completely surprised I got that from her. I'm surprised she voted for me.
I'm sure that she would say it that way. I'm surprised. I know honestly on some of this stuff, I know I'm in the minority because the people that, you think this way, Crystal's on your side, Angelo, he thinks very similar way as well. I'm the only one that thinks, like, I feel that, like, it's always been based upon the percentage of the food. So, yeah, it sucks that you do that, but if you work in a higher-end environment, you're paying more of the food, expect to pay more for the tip. You hate the idea, but you don't have to. Nothing is telling you that you have to do that. Okay? If you want to put $2 down, put $2 down. If the waitress comes, you say yourself, even if the waitress comes over and says, why'd you only give me $2? Well, I can't afford to tip you that much. You need to get a better job. Tell that to their face. That's the thing. But you don't have to. You don't have to do 18%. Well, you don't have to do 20%.
Just like
you don't have to do it based upon the food. So like you saying that, like telling the waiters and waitresses that they don't have to work there, you tell them you don't have to tip like that.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying though they put it in my face like it's my problem if I don't.
It's not your problem. It's a problem for them, but it's not up to you to fix it. This is my point.
Well, if you're not,
it's not up to you to fix it. It's not up to me to fix it. It's up to the owners of these restaurants or the way that society does things to change it.
Or up to the person doing the job to say this isn't working for me and do something, figure something out. If I'm doing something and I'm not happy, I have to figure out how to make it better.
What would you do if you were, this is just to be like a devil's advocate thing. What if somebody approached your job in the same way? And this is the job that let's say you're good at it, or it makes you enough money to survive right now, but they keep telling you every day that job's not good enough. You should get a real job. How would you feel if everybody told you your job's not a real job? I never said that
it wasn't a real job. But what I'm saying is...
exactly the exact same argument that can't support you and your family, that can't do that. Like, what if you're attacked like that? Because would feel like an attack.
But who's forcing them to be a waiter or waitress?
You don't know. I hate this fucking line. You don't know their situation that's forcing them to be in that job. You don't know why they're doing that job.
Because there's not school. There's not other jobs to pick from. But there's certain things that people don't want to do.
You're on this small percentage of the population that's working in that job that's doing it. Maybe it's a small town in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, and this is one of the few jobs that exists. And it's barely able to keep them alive in that town.
You're just going to get mad at me, but once again, there's not a thing called a car to move somewhere else and find something better options.
You know that there are people in situations that can't do that.
Well, I don't believe that. There's always a way to find a better way. You're limited to what you limit yourself to.
I think that there is...
What opportunity that you didn't have that I had? I fucking couldn't afford to go to school when I was coming out of high school.
I couldn't either.
And I mean, granted, I didn't go to college because I chose not to, but then I can't bitch about not getting a super high paying job that someone else is made because I didn't go to school and put the work in for it. But I learned what I learned from just breaking my back, moving shit, and learning how I do. And I got to a certain point in where I'm at now. But, if this doesn't work, then I have to find something else, and I have to make it work somehow. So, but there's no options telling me that I couldn't go to school to do this. There's no option saying that I couldn't try to learn another trade to do that. If you put yourself in this spot, whatever the case may be, you have the option to go do something else.
Right, but here's the thing. I'm gonna use your example, Bob. I'm gonna put me in this situation. What I went for the school for has nothing to do with what I did in my career.
Same thing with me.
100%. Because and the thing is that for some people they can't get into school because the grades that they got I'm not singling you or anybody out. I'm just doing this generalized thing. Okay, that the grades doesn't allow them to go into college. That's a barrier. That's a barrier that you can't cross. Right? You get locked out of something because you didn't have the grades. Because either this is not you. I want to make this 100%. I'm not talking about Patrick. I'm using you as the general you.
I got it. You think I'm dumb?
You didn't. Yeah, I think you're fucking stupid. You didn't get the grades that you needed in high school because you were doing something else. Who knows what your family home was like? You know, maybe you had a broken home. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you had two parents that loved, but you just didn't think school was good enough. You wanted to focus in on something else. You know, maybe it was poontang, or maybe it was football, maybe it was baseball, maybe it was playing Magic the Gathering. Whatever you did, so it was video games, and your school suffered because of it. So you locked yourself out of that thing. But then you went into the real world, and then you got the first thing that you could get, which maybe your parents decided they're old school. At 18, they're going to kick you out of the house, and you have to get a job. And the only thing, because of your education, you barely have a high school diploma, maybe you never got it because you never could finish high school. And this is the job that you can get. So you're stuck there. You know, with me, yeah, I was lucky enough, but I couldn't afford. My parents couldn't afford to send me to school. Instead, I racked up tons amount of debt, of student loans that I had to pay back. And everything having to do that. And then I went to, what did I go to school for? I went to school for modern literature. And then I ended up working in retail, another area where I'm not supposed to be able to make money to survive. And I didn't, right? I got lucky enough that I could be with my parents for the time being. While I ended up going and applied for my first warehousing job, where I busted my ass off. And I did a lot of manual labor, but I still learned the other side of the business, which was medical, related. And so I learned how to work with the FDA. And everything that I've done, to even up to this day, is all self-fucking-taught. I don't take classes for that shit. I don't know 100% everything that I do, but I'm able to move myself forward. So my education, I keep looking back on that shit and saying it was a fucking waste. But the only thing that is different between, and this one I am going to say you and me, is that I have a degree that's there. That even if I think it's a waste, people see it differently. It means that I can go into other places. It's not, it's a barrier that
does think I'm dumb.
No, I don't. You know I don't.
I don't.
But I'm saying that it's a barrier that you are going to get blocked. Because, like, I will refer to my fucking, my previous boss, who's still in the company. I won't say what he does in the company.
Yeah.
But he would not let me hire somebody because they didn't have a bachelor's. I told him he's fucking wrong. I said, I don't care. I said, because this is the best guy that I can have in this position. You don't want him because he doesn't have a bachelor's degree, yet he's been doing the similar work that you want for a ton of time. 8+ years. He's been doing this type of position. It's not exactly the position in this company, but it's this position, and he's better than anybody that I had, and I need somebody with this type of knowledge, and he's the best out of everybody, but you're going to hold him back because it doesn't have that? That's fucked up. That's completely fucked up, and I lost so much respect from him then, because I do believe that people can work hard. I do believe that people can do it, but sometimes there are people that are in these situations that will block you too. And it sucks. And that's how you end up in these types of jobs, in these positions. It's because you can't figure out how to get yourself past because nobody's going to give you a chance to. I'm not saying that every community has that. And you can try. You can work yourself up. And some people just don't. I agree with you. There are a group of people that don't. But to say that everybody in that position doesn't, I think that's wrong too.
Well, but, look at, once again, though, you use that example of the home life and all that. But you know what? They put themselves in that spot.
I'm talking about their parents. They don't put themselves with their parents. You don't choose who your parents are.
No. You said, I'm talking about the part where you said.
Yeah, I said you don't know what their home life is like. I said to get to this point, maybe they didn't pass high school because their home life was shit. Which means they're with their parents.
But you also said, what if they were doing football and all this other stuff?
Yeah, that's part of the home life.
See, how many.
And not doing good grades.
But once again, you're out of that. Why can't you finish it? Go get your GED then. Go build yourself up. If you don't want to put the work in and you're just going to be content with where you're at in life, be content with what you have then. If you don't have the urge to work harder to build up more, then don't complain about the situation you're in.
But the problem is that sometimes that you don't realize that the people that are working hard and trying to get can't because they're stuck behind this. That there are hardworking people that are getting paid shit and trying to make best of their situation, but can't move forward because they're stuck.
I've been in those situations too, but I work to get myself out of it.
Right, and sometimes it takes you longer than you expect.
Well,
But if you can't survive anymore on that, how do you expect to get out of it?
Okay. Well, my main thing is
How do you expect to get out of it?
Okay. Well, I'm also talking about the people that are going to bitch about it because they're trying to also feed a huge ass family on a wage that you shouldn't be able to do that, and they put themselves in those situations too. And everybody has their crybaby, bleeding heart story of what happened to them when they're younger. I had shit that happened to me. I had my problems growing up too. But you know what? I fucking put myself in a better position. I fought to put myself in a better position. I was out of work for 4 years because of my hand. I couldn't work. I had 3 surgeries on my hand. I went to school, which ended up being all bullshit. I don't know if I told you about that. The whole Biotech thing. Yeah, they don't even consider my diploma at that school to mean jack shit anymore because they scammed all these people. But that's a whole nother rant on another day. But the point is, I tried to do something. I got hurt. Was out of work for 4 years. Had to move in with my parents. When I got married and lived with them for a long time, I had no fucking choice because I couldn't work. The job I worked for at the time, Sears, piece of shit company, which I'm glad they're going out of business, tried to fuck me over. Shortly after, Crystal lost her job. So now I got a car fucking repoed, and I'm not doing all this ranting on this, poor me. But I had a car repoed. We almost were forced to live in this little small basement room at the time at this one house with my parents. But you know what? Where am I at now? I fought to get out of that. I fought to do better. I made sure Crystal fought to do better. She didn't fucking graduate high school, and I'm not shitting on her, but she went and made sure got her GED.
He thinks you're dumb, Crystal.
Well, that is kind of true. But she got her GED. She fought to do certain jobs, and now she's making, got a skill and making good money. And then when this job ends or whatever, she has the ability to go get another one, making good money and shit. So I'm just saying, we all have our fucking problems. We all have our issues. So instead of, and I'm not saying that it's not a shit situations. I agreed with you with that whole thing. If they got rid of the whole tipping thing because they're going to pay them more better and all that other shit, it might cause issues here or less issues here. Whatever. There's pros and cons to it also. But at the end of the day, I agree. I'm not going to argue with that. But you're walking into a situation where that's like going to go work at, like I said, construction and didn't realize you were going to have to be digging ditches and back-breaking work, sweating your ass off in the 90-degree weather, and then bitch about it like, well, why do I have to do this? You knew what the job entailed when you walked into it. So either do the job and work your ass off to get out of that situation, because this is what the job is, whether we agree with it's right or not. This is what the job is now. So do the fucking job and then and work your ass off to get to a better position, or don't complain about it.
I think that everybody has a right to complain. It's just what
we all have a right to complain about our jobs.
So then let them complain.
But you're expecting me to give extra to you with your problem. It's not fuck, I had a bad day today. The customer was an asshole to me today, and I just had a shitty day. That's an okay complaint. Oh, I need more money because this guy's a dickhead and I have to walk in here and see him every once a month. Well, then if you know that's going to happen, work to get yourself out of there. We all have shitty situations. We all get put in shitty spots. It's what you want to do with it. That's the problem nowadays. Is it's not what my problem is my problem, I got to work on getting out of it. My problem is your problem, and you need to fix my problem for me.
But the thing is what the point that I guess I'm trying to get across here is that, or at least make, if it's not clear enough with everything, is that yes, I agree with your statement. I agree that you should work yourself, get yourself out, but there are things that can hold certain people. I'm not saying that everybody, that's the thing, is I'm not saying that everybody has these giant situations. Are there people like you're talking about? Yeah, there's always people that are like that. There are people that are fucking lazy. There are people that have been through the same situations, that have done all this stuff, but don't have the support system that you might have. That don't have the place that they can go to, that don't have somebody that'll take them in for months, years, whatever it is. They are on their own. And they have to deal with the fact that they've got nothing. and they still are making nothing. They have nothing, nobody to fall back on, and this is the only thing. So they're struggling to survive, and as much as they want to get themselves out and they're trying to better themselves, they're getting dragged back in and keeping into the situation. But that's not everybody. There are the people that have.
I never said it was everybody.
But the thing is that you're I think where we're having a little bit of an impasse in the conversation that we're having is that it seems you're only focusing on the people that have like 7 kids and trying to use this as a way to pay for their 7 kids. And I'm trying to say there's more than those people that are out there that are arguing this point. And yes, I agree with you. And we both agree on the thing that we should not have to pay for their wages. We should not have to pay extra to pay for those people. I think we both agree on that point. Right? I shouldn't have to. It should be up to the restaurant to pay those people a livable wage. But the problem is that not everybody is, and I'm not saying that we have to do it because we have to pay for these people. I'm not. I'm just saying not everybody is somebody that just that's trying to support their giant fucking family and they don't want to go anywhere and they want the freebie. That's not everybody that works in that. Is it some? Probably. There probably are some of those people. It's not everybody. But the thing is until the bigger industry changes the way that it does it, this part is always going to be there.
And I'm not arguing with you on that. But they know that going into the job.
But they don't always know that going to the job. Well, what if this is somebody...
Then they're dumb.
Oh, my God.
Who gets into a job and not know what it entails?
That you don't necessarily know what the wage is like. Did you know the first time that you were thinking about maybe being a waiter, did you know that you'd have to go into that with tips? That you'd have to that your salary would be less than everybody else? Did you know that?
Yes, I would know that. I've known that since I was a kid. That you got your wages.
No, but they got less tips. Wages than everybody else. That somebody works at a fast food restaurant makes more than somebody that.
Well, then go work at the fast food restaurant. Who said you have to work there?
Because the potential to make more money is over there. Like you're talking about getting yourself out of there.
So then that's the point. Right there, you're taking a chance that you're going to make more money at the restaurant based on your tips. And if it doesn't happen, then that's on you. That's not on me. It's not on Joe Blow. It's on the person who took the job.
It's advertised as that way. It's advertised you can make up to this. And then the people that are dumb enough to not realize, they go over there.
But that's their problem. You just said it right there. They're too dumb to realize it. So why is it my fucking problem?
It shouldn't be. And that's where I agree with you with.
Well, then why are we arguing?
We're not. I thought we were having a conversation. You're the one starting to yell. I haven't yelled once.
You're saying that it comes down to my basis on this is based on the person who takes the job and then bitches about it.
And I'm saying that the people that bitch about it aren't always the people that you're talking about.
But then get out of the situation. Go work at McDonald's.
You can't.
They're always hiring at McDonald's and In-N-Out and all these other places. So that's an excuse.
But okay. Again, you're going to go into this direction. That's fine. Whatever it is. I don't know what else to tell you other than some people can't go over there or they can't do this.
They can go work at a restaurant but can't go work at fast food.
Who knows? I'm not saying
I can't. I normally can see your point of view. And I saw a lot of your point of view.
You interrupted me a lot going into this. That's where I'm getting upset.
I saw a lot of your point of view from all that. I even agreed with you about the whole wage thing and all that stuff. I completely agree with you. But I will not agree with you with saying that I can do a waitress job or a waiter job and not go work at McDonald's or Burger King or some other place.
Okay.
That I cannot accept.
Let's say you have 7 kids and they all have to, you have 5 of them that can't go into school yet and they need to be watched during the day. And so the person that you're with they're working during the day and you can't work that night job over at the fuck McDonald's or at the fast food place because in your town it closes at this time. And so the waiter job is what's open to you. Do you not do it?
Whose fault is it for having that many kids and not be able to support them?
I'm using
and
your
I'm
example.
giving you
But again, you need to support your kids.
Well, quit having so many kids if you want to go work at that kind of a job if that's all that's available to you. That's my problem that you fucking don't know what birth control is?
But again, you don't know I hate the fucking phrase. You don't know the person's situation.
I know their situation. In this case right here, this situation,
if
they can't stop having sex without fucking protection and keep spitting out fucking minion kids and then expect me to pay for them.
So you need to convince Catholics to use birth control.
Well, whatever. Catholics, whoever, whatever religion, race, atheism, I don't care. There's people out there that just do that. Face the facts. It's true. And I'm not saying that's every situation.
It's not.
But it's a big part of it. The people bitching.
I don't think it's as big of a part as you think it is. So you
okay. Like, that's fine. That's your opinion and my opinion.
Right. I think the people that are bitching are the people that are struggling to survive and want something so they can survive so they can get better. That's where I think a lot of the bitching comes from, and it gets put in with the other population.
Okay.
There's just as much people
I went to school and worked 2 fucking jobs 7 days a week to better myself. I'm not saying you didn't. There's options to do shit. You have options. If there's a will, there's a fucking way.
And there's a lot of people, that's what they're using it for. That's what you're proving my point right now, is that there are a lot of people that are using this to do that. Maybe they are working 2 jobs, plus have taken out student fucking loans that they're going to have to pay back, and they still can't fucking survive. And they still can't do it on 2 fucking jobs and that, because of the way the fucking economy is right now. Right? And because that job does not pay enough and they still picked up a second, and it's not enough. And they're still taking out $30,000 a year to better themselves with college, and they can't pay it back. So what do you want those people to do? They're the ones bitching too. Third job?
You find a way, you can make it work.
Then what's the way? Tell me what the way is.
If you can't afford the student loans and all the shit, then
but they tell you that this is how you better yourself. So they're trying to better themselves, and they're barely making it. If they just got a regular wage at the fucking, waitress job, rather than having to survive on tips, they'd be fine.
Fuck it. Start at OnlyFans then.
So that's all we're really trying to say in the conversation that we're having. Start an OnlyFans.
Or an OnlyMans, whatever.
Man Meat 64 on OnlyMans. Well, that's the show, guys, because we've done a lot of this.
This is going to be one hell of a YouTube video. I think I already know where I want to put the thumbnail.
Was it when you were like this?
No, when you were like this.
I think you got redder than me.
It's hot up here.
It is a little warm up here today.
I almost turned the fan on.
Oh, I was trying to see if one of the dogs was over there on the
No, they both left. They were tired of all that yelling you were doing.
Well, I know. Yeah, all the yelling I was doing the entire time. Yeah, because, it was only me yelling here.
See, people, this is called maybe a little more than a regular conversation, but when people can do that and then laugh at the end of it, that's what you're supposed to be able to do.
You're supposed to have disagreement. If you agreed with everything your friends said, it'd be a pretty boring life.
Yeah, exactly.
I think in general.
But Crystal, you better keep agreeing with me, or I'll swear.
Yeah, make sure that he gets his protein pasta. I mean, in his boat. I mean, his spaghetti.
Spaghetti
to the moon, Crystal. Is that what you're trying to do, Ito? You're trying to incite violence.
Damn it, Edith! One of these days.
But yeah, so maybe we could hit 1 or 2 of these stories. Let's see what we got here. There was a couple I wanted to get your take on, and I bet you one of them. So do you know what a Sitzpinkler is?
A what?
Eine Sitzpinkler. Pinkler. I'm sorry. My German. Yeah, maybe my German is bad.
It sounds like you're speaking Indian.
Oh, I'm sorry. But it's a Sitzpinkler. So basically, I don't want cookies. So YouGov in the UK did a study of where in the world are men most likely to sit down to pee. And it was found out that is actually Germany. Germany is where they are, and they actually have a term for them, and it's a Sitzpinkler. And Sitzpinkler means sit peer. Sitzen is to sit, and I guess pinklin is slur for peeing.
So did we kick their ass so good in World War II that they sit and pee now?
It is actually, in some places in Germany, it's against the law for a man to stand to urinate. And I think and it's mostly men above 60 that sit to pee.
No wonder don't ever plan on going to Germany.
So basically, you got
Sir, you cannot stand and pee, y'all.
So out of the countries that were polled, the highest was Germany. Then you had Sweden, Denmark, Canada, Australia, Spain, Italy, France, the U.S. right there, kind of in the middle, lower end.
France,
of it.
I can understand.
Singapore, Britain, Poland, and Mexican men were the most likely to say that they do not sit to pee. with just 36% saying that they never sit down, and 21% they do most of the time.
I never sit to go pee.
Not even when you poop?
Well, I'm sitting to take a shit, so if I pee while I'm shitting, I don't consider that sitting down to pee. I'm sitting down to take a shit.
When I was young, I would never pee when I was pooping.
I would always
stand back up and pee and then go back to pooping.
Well, okay. Does that make you more of a man, I guess?
No, that does not make me more of a man. I just never really...
I didn't feel like standing up with shit in my ass to take a piss to sit back down.
You wipe after we're done.
I'm not going to stand up to pee, sit back down to shit, and then wipe my ass again. I don't consider... If I sit down and I go to take a shit and I'm going to pee... If I pee a little bit while I'm taking a shit, I don't consider that sitting to pee. That'd be sitting to take a shit. You just happen to pee too. If I have to take a piss, I'm standing up. Unless you had like a surgery or thing or something where you had to. Yeah, like right?
Kidney stones?
Yeah, like the whole thing. I could say Menace was the one that
when
was
he had a cross section on his penis.
Yeah. If you had a surgery thing and you have to sit, that's one thing.
Psychotic shit there.
That is some psychotic shit. The only other one I would accept would be like someone, like an older person or a handicapped person that has trouble standing like that. I can understand that. I'm not talking about those people. Any normal ass fucking man should be standing to pee. Okay? Oh. Go to a bathroom, stand to pee, be a man.
Stand to pee, be a man. Shit
what
your
are
pants.
What are they wiping with some toilet paper on their dick tip instead of shaking it like a fucking man?
I don't know. It's just they sit to pee. You know? They probably do shake it afterwards.
Don't you shake it? No, I use the toilet paper to wipe my pee hole.
That's what... I think, I don't remember who it was. It was somebody that was related to me, I think on my dad's side, that tried to do that. Said, oh, you should be doing that. And I'm like, no, I'm a dude. I don't do that.
What, sit to pee?
No. Wipe your wiener after you pee.
Probably Angelo.
Yeah, it was probably Angelo. You're right. Probably right with that. All right, so Kentucky teacher suspended after allegedly allowing a student to dress as a KKK Grand Wizard.
I didn't hear about this one.
So, yeah, this happened in a Pulaski middle school, and the teacher was suspended after allegedly giving the student permission. But it's not just that. The student went on to the goddamn school bus. He gets picked up by the school bus and still was wearing it. The bus driver was like, oh, no, okay, go ahead. You can, instead of, like, stopping the kid there, what are you doing?
Yeah, well,
I'm dressing as a, Grand Wizard to portray an ancient, war hero.
This is all I'll probably say to defend the fucking bus driver. He's probably like,
that's not part of my job.
Exactly. Like we were talking about not having to deal with certain shit as a waiter or a waitress or whatever. That's probably him at this point. I'm not going to deal with these psycho ass fucking parents and have to hear this shit. Let the fucking school take care of it. My job is to drive back and forth and make sure no fights happen on my bus.
Now, supposedly there were pictures out there in this article from the Harrington Herald Leader. Does not have the pictures of the suit, but supposedly it was obvious that the kid made it himself. Mm-hmm. The Klan outfit, because the eye holes were cut out all weird. I
can't see a fucking thing out of this thing.
All right, we got a Texas A&M professor. He flunked all his students after ChatGPT falsely claims that it wrote their papers. So he was using AI to double check papers, and then ChatGPT lied to him, and so he flunked all his students. Instead of doing the work, this is a fucking South Park episode is what this is.
Well, I mean, he figured that's what they're doing anyways.
Which is fucking stupid.
I agree.
This is why I hate all this AI shit.
I agree.
It's just going to keep making people lazier and lazier. If you want to talk about people being lazier, especially in the white-collar world, chat fucking GPT. And all this AI video bullshit, people don't want to take the time to actually make videos. And they just want to, I hate that fucking voice so much. I know it's fake. I hate your product when you do it.
I agree. I wanted to check the Chat GPT out, but they want you to pay for it. And fuck that.
No, they'll do it for free, but you have to give them all your information. You have to sign up for an account. I'm like, I'm not giving you my email and all this shit. Then you can pretend to be me, send out emails as me. Yeah. Subscribe me to ManMeat64 on OnlyMans. I don't want to do that. I mean, I've already got 2 years. I mean, I don't have a subscription at all.
ManMeat_64.
Oh, it's _64. I'm sorry. But there was Sony. Did you hear that story too about the? I didn't put this in there, but about the lady in Australia with her OnlyFans and her stepdad.
No.
Oh, you didn't hear about that story?
I don't think so.
So there's this OnlyFans model that's in Australia, and she found out through TikTok of all things. So she had this like guy that was her #1 subscriber, spent over like $2,200 in Australian money on custom content and all this stuff for her. Talked with her on our DMs on a regular basis, and then started following her TikTok, and his name was Hot Daddy something. Like that's his real fucking
TikTok
name. TikTok. Yeah. No, that was his OnlyFans name.
Oh.
And then that was the same name that he used on TikTok, right? And then TikTok said, "Hey, this person's in your contacts." And then she narrowed it down to her stepdad.
Oh, at least it was a stepdad.
It was her stepdad.
I mean, how long was he around?
He's been around since she was 11 years old.
Okay, well, yeah.
That is fucked up.
At least he waited till she was over 18.
She was legal? You've been seeing this girl as your daughter, and what they didn't say what type of thing.
I didn't say it was right. I'm saying at least he didn't do nothing to her when she was a little kid.
Oh, but
I know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying at least it wasn't like I found her maybe it wasn't until she got older. I don't know. At 11 she was flat-chested. No. 18
they're not family.
Boosted out.
It's not that they're not family. I get it. They're not family.
No.
But you're ruining your mom's fucking life by your stepdad going over there, and then he's doing this all behind her mom's back. And it'd be one thing if the stepdad was like, "Look, I don't agree. Let me finish real fast. I don't agree with what you're doing, but here's an account for $20 and that's it. I'm done."
He said, "Damn it, Wally. Is that why we couldn't go on holiday? You're spending all the money on my daughter, your stepdaughter." That was a horrible.
Wonder if she asked her
how's her pie?
Is it a hair pie?
That's why we had to cancel our vacation.
Don't you put your morals on my morals? No, I put it out there for the mom, man.
Shit.
The mom. It sucks for the mom to know that your husband and that he's known your daughter since she was 11. Calls her. She probably called him dad and everything like that.
Or daddy.
And then he's spending, $2,000,
over
$2,000 to get naughty shit from your stepdaughter.
Hey, your daughter. I seen your daughter's Outback.
Well, he probably got some unpixelated back burger over there too.
I saw what she did with that boomerang I did.
All right.
Look, this is what I'm going to say.
I got 3 more stories.
This is what I'm going to say. One, I'm not saying it's right. I get what you're saying about be known since she was a little girl.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just going to say at least it wasn't nothing he did to her when she was younger. Right? That's what I'll leave it there. 2, at least it's also not his daughter. But actual daughter. I get what you're saying. I agree with you completely.
If you were her uncle.
Oh, I wouldn't say I'd be happy about this.
So then why wouldn't you be mad at this situation?
Because my thing, one, she put this stuff out there herself.
Right.
He didn't force himself on her or force her to take pictures for him.
He paid for it, yeah.
He paid for it.
Right.
And 2, it's not his actual daughter. If it was his actual daughter, that'd be a whole nother story. I'm not giving it that it's not creepy or it's not weird or anything because he's known her since she was a little girl. It'd be one thing is like I met her when she was 17 and blah, blah, blah.
I would be more okay with that than I've raised her since I was 11. She was 11.
I get what you're saying. I'm not arguing with that point. I'm saying, 1, it's not blood. 2, it's not like he forced her or he was sneaking photos of her. She put this on the internet and he paid for it. Well, so that's where I feel like that's the difference. Like,
again, that's what you assume. You don't know.
What do you mean?
You don't know what.
Well, you're automatically thinking you're putting labels on him now.
I'm being devil's advocate.
You don't know his situation.
You don't know either.
Well, okay, I'm just saying.
He could have been spanking it all night long. Who knows? He could have been thinking his mom was her the entire time. Her mom was her. Who knows?
Is that why you got us matching dresses?
That's fucked up. Yeah, see, you'd kill him, Ito, and yet you were like, well, they're not related. But if you were related to her, you would be pissed the fuck off at him. I'm just saying it's a double standard.
I
If you were related to her, you would be like, "This, no, that guy deserves to get his ass fucking
at the same
kicked."
time,
but if
like I
since
said,
you're not, it's like, no, this is fine. He's just her stepdad.
but at the same time, she put the content out there, and she was the one doing it.
If he was up for it and saying, "Yeah, I'm paying for it," would that be better?
Yeah,
Because
she could have blocked him.
I guess you could have. Anyway, next story here, like I said, I've got 3 more, and they're relatively quick. Man pulled over for DUI, blames dog for driving.
That one also was on the Woody Show. Yeah, he tried to jump out and put the dogs in.
Yeah.
He was driving.
Colorado man has been arrested for blaming a dog driving over the speed limit as he swapped seats with the animal. I mean, it's ingenious. Be like, I was trying to stop the guy.
Hold on, real quick. Do you see what put? My family not okay. Other families.
Okay.
He's like, I'm out there looking for a stepdaughter.
You're looking for an 11-year-old stepdaughter so that 7 years later you can subscribe to her OnlyFans? Because that's what the story is.
Anyways, yes. So the dog was like, I was driving. He was drunker.
I had to get him home.
I'm just a rock. I'm trying to drive my owner home.
So
I'm a good boy.
Have you seen the videos, though, of them trying to teach dogs to drive?
No.
Oh, those are hilarious. There are some out there. Like, the dogs are driving really slow, but the dogs are actually driving the car. They're like trying to see, I think it's in the UK, they're trying to see if like guide dogs might be able to drive like small distances for people.
But probably boy dogs, right?
No.
Not the female dogs?
No, it looked like it was a female dog driving because it drove into a tree.
Oh, yeah. Well, then, yeah, that makes sense. That's Brian at It'd Be Like That podcast.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Then you can just blame me for everything. All right. Finally, Taco Bell is fighting to cancel the trademark Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, that one also.
But the thing is I've never been to a Taco John's and have no idea what Taco John's is.
They got one in Reno, I believe. Don't they have one in Reno, guys? I think I remember seeing.
So
I think it's,
and it was funny because I saw this story pop up again. This was way before they had it. I haven't listened to the damn thing, but they had this that the fact that Kyle, when we did the Super Mario Brothers episode, he talked about Taco John's, and then all of a sudden this story showed up like around Offbeat over there.
Well, I think I agree that I think it's fun. It's like to copyright certain things, but to be able to copyright a word, I think is dumb. I mean,
well,
but if they have it copyrighted, they have it copyrighted.
The thing is that Taco John's has the copyright everywhere except for New Jersey.
Yeah.
New Jersey's the only place because there is a restaurant where they say they are actually the originators of Taco Tuesday. And so they own the copyright in New Jersey. Mm-hmm. And if this goes through, that place would also lose their copyright.
Yeah.
Which, I get it, but Taco Tuesday wasn't a thing back in the day. Like, it wasn't as widespread as it is now.
Yes. But I'm just making the point that I think it's stupid. But then again, it also makes sense because you got a team like, say, the Niners or the Raiders, and they have the license to sell the product and the name. So that's where it makes sense. At the same time, or so there's not 50,000 Amazons out there or something.
That's true. Yeah, when you have a name of
something. So that makes sense.
But there's a lot of like brand slogans that are copyrighted.
Yeah. Or I mean, look at
right? That's basically what.
Look at what's his face owns the right to say, "Let's get ready to rumble."
Right, and then there's like Xerox, for example. So Xerox is not actually what the action is, right? Xerox really is a company, but everybody calls the copying Xeroxing. Yeah. And that's something that they can't get copyright on because it's become part of the vernacular that everybody, says.
Or
right?
Like, was it the Happy Birthday song was technically...
Same thing. That's not public domain because it was copyrighted for the longest time and you couldn't play it. Now it's gone to public domain. They allowed it to go into public domain. But it's like this with Taco Tuesday. I think Taco Bell's argument is, look, this has become so much of the vernacular that's out there that anybody should be able to use it.
Yeah,
but not have a copyright on it.
Like I said, I see how something, but you can't say this has the right to be copyrighted, but this doesn't.
No, LeBron just lost his hairline. That's all.
LeBron he wants to copyright flop.
Oh,
that's what he does.
But he's got to fight Vlade Divac for that.
I would say he's the king of flop.
You think he's the king of the flop now? Because
dude, have you seen some of the videos recently?
No, I know they got beat by the Nuggets last night. That's all I care about.
Yeah, the other night from the Nuggets, I'll admit it. His hand touched his face because he blocked the ball out of the Denver guy's hand, and his hand
as it came back, it kind of touched his face. He was like, they were about half court. He flopped all the way, slid into the audience where a soda fell on him because he ran into a fan.
Oh, I think that fan was a plant. He's like, you need to stay here, hold this soda the entire time. So that way, when I come sliding across the court, like, pour it on me.
Yeah.
And
well, I'm
that'll
just
make
saying,
this be worse.
there's one for the Warrior game. You should look that up real quick. No one was around him, and he went, oh, and flopped to the ground. There wasn't a Warrior around him. This was on this last series that the Warriors just lost to.
Yeah, where they
got
up? Tons of free throws. And it's like, we can't keep up with that amount of free throws. Like, there's nothing we can do. You know, they've got 47 to our 11. What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
You know. All right. So last thing, and then we're gonna end on some good dog news. Bobby, the world's oldest dog, has celebrated its 31st birthday. And what would it say if it could?
I am Riard.
So, yeah, Bobby is a Portuguese pooch who is declared the world's oldest dog by Guinness World Records in February, celebrated his 31st birthday on Thursday. So they planned a birthday party for him on Saturday. I guess he just had one in somewhere in South Portugal.
What the fuck is on your advertisements over there,
I
bro?
don't know. Look, this is CNN. There's like wieners and shit. What is that?
It looks like a finger.
From? It's from Temu.
It's a finger that looks like it's all curved and shit.
Oh, you know what that is? That's like a nail file. That's what it's so you can practice doing somebody's nails.
Is that a fake vagina down there?
No, that's not that's a mouth. That's a weird mouth. That's there.
All right, sorry.
And then there's a dress that's over here, and then there's this weird gut fanny pack that's there. Temu is the new Wish, by the way. So if you want to find cheap ass figures, they have them there. And who knows what quality you're gonna get. This I don't know what this is, because this looks like it's like half of a fucking vulva. Is what it looks like there. We got a vagina that's on the thing there.
The dog's like, why am I still alive?
Yeah. Bobby should be dead. He fucking farting dust is all he does. Goes out to poop and it's just... And then you got all this stuff over here, 20 dog breeds that'll guarantee the thing. But so yeah, he's an old good boy, and he's special because looking at him, it's like remembering the people who are part of our family and unfortunately no longer here. Like my father, he outlived his father, his brother, and his grandparents.
The grandparents and the dad, I understand, depending on what time you got the dog.
I wonder what happened to the brother.
But yeah, what happened to the brother?
Maybe the dog killed it. I'm going to be the oldest in this family.
He doesn't look like a pit bull, though.
He doesn't. He's I don't know what type of dog he is because it doesn't say. He's a Portuguese dog, but they don't say. But yeah, he's 31 years old and still kicking. So that was good doggo news. And that is our show, everybody.
Yeah.
So,
by the end of this show, the dog died.
Yeah, exactly. He probably did. What am I searching for on the side? I'm not searching for anything. That's Google Ads, bitch.
That's Google's ad, bitch.
That's right. For some reason, I'm getting Temu ads. I don't know why. Maybe
Zach's on there.
There's also this cat thing. Nobody talked about the fucking cat thing that's there, or the baby clothes, because probably I ended up buying something for Quentin's kid or something shit like that, or a lot of Quentin texts lately. You know what it could also be too for some of the stuff? Just saying that I randomly got that picture or that suggestion of that butt plug egg chair today because I watched something on YouTube, and that's why I sent it over to you guys. That was hilarious. That thing.
I don't think Brig ever responded.
I don't think he did either.
He probably was too busy ordering it.
What movie was that from? Where they found the magazine, some comedy.
Chicks with. What the hell did you get? Chicks with.
That's Chicks with Dicks. That's from Angelo right there. That's what he's doing. No, it's not Ted 2. It's an older. I think it's an 80s comedy. There's one.
What's that?
Where he's like, that magazine that they find. Chicks with Dicks. I don't want to search for it because I don't want my Google search to suddenly show up with Chicks with Dicks. Movies where they're the magazine ads. I want to say, I feel like it's like a Major League type movie, something like that.
It wasn't Major League for sure.
No, it wasn't Major League, but that type of movie.
Yeah.
Or that type of thing. But anyway, Patrick was playing it on Xbox the other day. Oh, the new Street Fighter beta. Yeah, I did try out. I haven't tried out the current beta, which is the free beta.
They make you do that long ass fucking. This is how you play the game thing.
Yeah, and then they let you do. Then once you do that, then you get to do the. You actually get to play with, I think, Chun-Li, Ken. No, there's the demo. And then this weekend, they just released an open beta, which lets you try out the online fighting.
You have to download something other than the demo for that?
There's one that's called like online beta or something. It's a different file. Because I actually watched somebody do it, and he was doing the demo, which I've done the demo. And I did a bunch of the demo. But that doesn't allow online fighting. You can't play anybody.
Yeah.
You can play locally. It's fine. It's Street Fighter. It is what it is. But there is one that's testing the net code to make sure that the net code works. So, everything like that. But, everything's fine.
All
So,
right. I'm hungry.
All right. He's hungry. I want to get some chips and queso as it is.
Oh.
And maybe take a nap. And, but yeah, if people want to follow us on Twitter, Patrick, where are they going to find us?
IBLT podcast.
If they want to email us anything, not regarding tipping though, because we're done with that conversation, but real or fake, we're totally in. We'll tip you for real or fake picks.
Yes. IBLT podcast at gmail.com.
I didn't say it was going to be money though. I mean, tips, meaning you should get that one lifted up. The left one sagging a little bit. Maybe you need a Brazilian butt lift with that. Instagram.
IBLT podcast.
YouTube.
It'd be like that podcast.
And then, of course, join us on Twitch, where we're live every other Saturday normally.
Twitch.tv/IBLT podcast.
No, Crystal, you cannot participate in real or fake because I already know they're real.
I don't know that.
Well, you can go home and you can find out and you can tell me. No, don't tell me.
If I didn't know that by now,
Yeah, I know. That's right. And you can find us on things like Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Blueberry, Facebook, Google Play. Basically, where you can find a podcast, you can find us out there. Deezer, D's Nuts, GeoSavan, all that stuff.
Pandora, Spotify.
Right. You can check us out all those places. This will go up.
We're all over the place.
I'll try to upload this sometime this week directly to YouTube, but you'll probably break it up for the rant.
I stopped myself from doing the accent, I guess, for some reason, because of course, we were doing accents earlier, but
you were doing the German accent, because you don't want to be a Sitzpinkler. I'm sorry, I'm doing an Indian accent,
People around here people across the world might not know, because we have that place around here was, remember Mr. Chow's?
Oh, Mr. Chow, Chinese Fafu.
We are over the place.
But that commercial was so bad.
I never had.
I think it was a white guy too that ran that place.
Well, same thing with Panda Express.
It was like South Park and with a shitty walk. He's really a white guy, dressed as an Asian guy. But Patrick, people want to find you on Twitter. Where can they find you?
Big Solo 64.
They want to find you on YouTube. Where they can find you?
Solus 64.
Where are you on Twitch?
Twitch and TikTok at Solus_64.
And then you have a new episode that just got released like 2 weeks ago for another podcast that you do?
Yeah, 3 weeks ago for KVGT podcast. .com that's Nights at the Video Game Table podcast. I don't know where we're standing with that, but there's a new episode up and there's talks, but we'll leave it at that.
Ito, if you get a chance, go on YouTube, search for Mr. Chow's Chinese fast food and watch the commercials. They're ridiculous. I think there are some up there.
They were all over the place, bro.
But not in Fresno. But I think it started in Southern California, if I'm not mistaken.
It should have been around that area.
But it's not around here anymore. I mean, he must run out of money, Mr. Chow's.
Yeah.
But anyway.
He came back as Panda Express to get his money.
That's what the revenge was?
Yeah. But Brian, you have a Twitter.
Yep, you can find me T_podcast or toolbert, but mostly over on the Terrible Terror Twitter.
You have a YouTube.
Yep, both toolbert and Terrible Terror podcast, where there'll probably be some new videos going up at some point. I don't know if I'm going to do a review on Sisu or not. We went and saw that last night, but we didn't go see it. I got friends dragged me to a surprise movie yesterday, so which was good.
You have a Twitch. Sorry.
Yep.
Twitter.
I already got me on Twitter, and you got me on YouTube, which I just did, so we do have a Twitch. Yeah. Twitch.tv/Terrible Terror. It's every Monday and Tuesday. There is a horror game stream, and then it's been an misadventure stream where, it's mostly been with Quentin that I've been playing, our other Team Farts member, which I hope his kid's doing well. But there are times where other people join along, like Brig will join along, maybe Pat will join for something. But horror games right now, I'm going through, what's that game? The Quarry, which is pissing me the fuck off. That story is terrible. And fucking, what's his name? Bitch ass Justice Smith. I don't know, guys. What are we doing over here? He's the most boring fucking person in the whole game.
Is he boringer than Ada in Resident Evil 4 Remake?
Ada is a step above him. Oh my God. I'd rather have Ada. At least she was trying. She was trying to do something. He's just like, I'm just here to read my lines and not get fined. But yeah, so twitch.tv/Terrible Terrors. And then Terrible Terror Podcast. So the next episode, we just did an episode. I did one with Patrick. We did the Super Mario Brothers movie, which we did with Kyle from Back in Time Podcast, which was a lot of fun. But it took me over 3 hours to edit that piece of shit. Just because of so much that they both... Well, you not so much. I will give you 100% credit. You only did I Gotta Take a Shit, which I didn't want at the end of credits, but I didn't... The problem is I couldn't actually redo it and put it in to make it match. If I could, it'd be one thing. But I had to redo 7 or 8 clips because Kyle was laughing or snoring or whatever he was doing. It drove me mad. I loved the guy very much. It was a lot of fun doing the episode. At one point when we finished, I was like, I don't even know if I can put this up, if I can edit it to a point that... Then as I was going back and listening to him, I'm like, okay, a lot of this stuff is really funny and it should stay up.
Yeah.
So I was just
well, you don't normally do guests on there, so if it's a little different than normal, then what's the difference?
Yeah, that's... I was going to put even a disclaimer at the beginning of it, but it is a little awkward getting into it because you show up...
I thought I was going into a waiting room.
No, I told you that just to join and go in.
I know. In my head, though, because I'm used to doing it when I do it with Kyle and them.
I just wanted you to pop up and surprise the crap out of them.
Well, the stupid thing is that's the other problem, was I was in there for 15 fucking minutes prior, because I'm going to make sure everything's working, and the fucking... This happened the last time I tried using my for some reason, my computer there is not letting me do shit. So then I had to go get the laptop. Then I had to go then my for some reason my webcam wasn't working. So then I had to go get my webcam from downstairs. It was a fucking and I got the shit barely working right before I got in, and then it switched my microphone. Or I mean my hearing. I couldn't hear shit.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I thought I was in a waiting room, because I couldn't hear. I was like, oh, maybe I can't hear nothing until they bring me in. And then I realized, oh, they're fucking talking to me, and I have no fucking clue.
Yeah. So...
Piece of shit, Zoom.
But anyway, it turned out to be a fun episode, so check out the Super Mario Brothers episode. But I decided to keep with the gaming thing, and I'm going to do Alone in the Dark from Uwe Boll.
Oh, nice.
And that is available on everything like Amazon, Freebie, Tubi, all those places you can watch it.
I still say you should do the one... that
I got some more suggestions too for some other people.
Yeah, the one Angela just did, Crimson.
For a gaming thing.
Yeah.
There's one that's called. Oh God.
Oh yeah, you were talking about for the podcast.
I was talking about the podcast, but no, you're talking about the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of things I want to try. I know that I'm going to be doing probably a lot of Diablo when that hits. Yeah. There was something that I wanted to show you. I can show you after, but I just want to know what the name of the game was before. Because I do want to mention it here before we signed off. It's something to do with video. God damn it, I'll find it.
Video Killed a Radio Star?
No, not Video Killed. It looks like it's like Doom from back in the day.
Crimson Snow.
That's one that I was gonna look into. But there is a game where it's like you run this video store, and then there's a serial killer that's out there. And you have to try to solve the serial killer case, but there's also like you have to also control parts of the store. It's weird, but it's like this weird horror thing. I'll find out the name of it.
Be Kind, Rewind.
I think it's called Be Kind Rewind, actually.
Or else.
But
Enhance.
Enhance.
But yeah, he's looking it up right now to try to find it.
I can't remember. Rewind or Die. That's the name of the game. It's called Rewind or Die. Is the name of the game. So how it looks like that old school Doom type of thing, and I'm showing the video to Patrick and everything like that. So you control the video store, but then there is out on the streets, the killer's going around. You're trying to solve the mystery and stop the killer, and you get put in like Saw situations, but you also have to go out and eventually hunt him down and kill him. So I thought. For $12 on Steam, I'm like, this might be worth to just do it on a stream and see what it's like. And everything. But Angelo, you might want to check that out too. It's called Rewind or Die.
But he wants to be the killer to kill the guy.
Well, that's true. He probably does. But that's it. So to everybody out there on Twitchland, we are going to say goodbye. You got anything to say to the Twitch people?
I'm really freaking hungry.
Okay, he's hungry. Okay, so
My
bye
stomach
everybody
is growling.
there.